The following is a presentation of The Day.
Perhaps the game of the week in the state of Connecticut unfolds here tonight on the campus of Killingly High School as 2-0 and perennial state power Bloomfield travels to Killingly to take on the Killingly High School football team, and we'll have all the action live on Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that's good begins with a smile. When you visit our office, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you the personalized and gentle care that you deserve. Contact us today at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. And, of course, stay tuned after the game on all our social media platforms for the Foxwoods Player of the Game. Summer isn't over at Foxwoods. Check them out at foxwoods.com and the Foxwoods Player of the Game. Casey O'Neill, along with, in my opinion, the best high school football coach I've ever seen, Jack Cochran. Coach, welcome to Game Day. Thanks for joining us tonight for a battle of two teams that you are very familiar with.
Casey, thanks for those kind words, and I'm very excited to be working with you guys tonight and watching hopefully a great football game.
Well, Bloomfield, of course, a place where you had great success as a coach. Killingly, where you were an assistant over the past few years. Two very different styles. Two teams that have had a tremendous amount of success on the state level. What do you see tonight in this contrast of two schools?
Well, you take Bloomfield first. They're a perennial successful program. They won 9 state championships. Coach Outlaw's done a hell of a job. This is his 8th season. He's got the program, I think, back on an upward trend, and he's got a young quarterback that's making his own, and I think he's really developed into a good football player. On the other hand, you have Killingly, who really is right now the face of the ECC. You know, they've took the league. Killingly's taken the ECC on their back and made them hopefully a respectable league based on their success, and they've been in the playoffs several times in a row, and I think this is one of the best Killingly teams I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and state where football is generally moving to more of a spread, more the old RPO that we hear all about. Killingly has their own RPO, of course. Ned Griffin dubbed "run people over," and there is a simplicity to Killingly's offense. We saw it last week against NFA, where they run out of the I, they run out of a pro set, and they don't do anything particularly tricky, but they execute with precision. The Killingly student section showing up tonight, cowboyed up and cowgirled up, ready to go. They are in the spaghetti western gear. That seems to be a theme here on the early part of the season. But talk a little bit about the simplicity of what Killingly does and why it gives teams problems.
Well, Killingly, their offense, it's a staple from the 1970s, 1980s, and early 1990s, where it was run first, 1 tight end, 2 tight ends, 2 backs in the backfield, a fullback, tailback getting the ball, 10, 20, sometimes 30 times a game. And that type of offense is few and far between in this age. So the biggest thing is when you play a team like Killingly is you're not prepared in your schemes. You're preparing all summer, passing leagues to defend the shotgun, 4 wides, 5 wides, 1 back, and now you have basically, with the rules, you have 3, maybe 4 practice days to get ready for a power offense. And it's something you have to spend more time on 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before you play them, because it's not something you can get done in only 3 or 4 days. So that definitely gives Killingly an advantage. The only disadvantage is it's tough to come back if you're down 2 or 3 scores when you're run-oriented. And 2, I think it's, in the long run, it does a disservice to a great quarterback, a great receiver when it comes down to getting numbers and getting exposure. That's a big thing. Colleges want to see kids over a course of 30, 40, 50, 60 plays, especially a quarterback. To evaluate a real quarterback, they want to see, 80 snaps, 90 snaps, because a college's success is made. They either make it or they break it on what quarterbacks they recruit and offer, and they're going to take the ones I feel that have their footage that they can see over a course of a season.
And that might be one of the things that's a little different about this Killingly team is their ability to put the ball in the air. They haven't had to, per se, but Thomas Dreibholtz, the senior quarterback, he's built like a college quarterback. He throws it like a college quarterback. And in another offense, he might be putting up eye-popping numbers. In this offense, it's limited. But when, I think unlike maybe some other Killingly teams, if they were ever faced with having to come back late in a game throwing the football, it's not going to be a lack of talent, whether or not, after whether they can get it done receivers-wise. They seem to have some good guys, Jackson and Colangelo. But you mentioned the 4-wide, 5-wide. One of the things I talked about last week that I think makes Killingly problematic too is everybody, as you said in the passing league, is trying to find 4 defensive backs who can cover. Try to find 4 who can tackle, because when you face Killingly, you don't need 4 guys who can cover. You need 4 guys who can tackle, and that was problematic. If you put a bigger group out there, they'll throw the ball over the top of you. If you put your typical cornerbacks in the game, they're going to have to tackle because they're going to get your DBs one-on-one, and if they can't make tackles on the edge, we saw, we've seen for over a year now, those are big plays for Killingly.
Yeah, great points. Let's start first with Thomas Dreibholtz. Hope I'm saying that right. Dreibholtz. He's a phenomenal quarterback. I got him listed as 6'3", 220. He can run. He's athletic. He spins the ball. The first thing colleges are looking for in a quarterback is how it comes out of his hand, and it comes out of this kid's hand like a Division I, definitely a Division I quarterback. I see him with a very, very bright future ahead of him. I had the opportunity to coach Jordan Reed, my son, Jason Manson, all Division I quarterbacks, and he doesn't take a backseat to those 3. I think he's going to have a hell of a future. Your point about the defensive backs, you're 100% correct. Tonight's game is going to come down to one thing, I believe, is can Bloomfield get number 34 on the ground on the first hit or the second hit. The one thing that he does, Soren, is he has yaks, a lot of yaks, yards after contact. He does not go down on the first hit. He spent the off-season training, I know, with Andrew Pinnock. He's a phenomenal running back coach and just took his play to another level. And Bloomfield's going to have to wrap him up because if he runs 30 times and breaks 7, this game's going to be over quick. So
yeah, we saw last week an NFA defensive back tried to tackle him high and he just bounced off of him like nothing. And so he does present a problem because he is a very strong runner, low, but he runs also with great vision. I talked about great running backs and the various things that make great running backs. And as you know, we're from running back U. When you go back to New London High School in the early days, there was running back after running back after running back that came out of that school, and they were all good for different reasons. One of the things I love about Soren is not only does he have great vision, he really understands. He has a high football IQ. He really understands what the idea behind the play is. So he varies his tempo, how he hits holes, how he delays to give blockers time to get where they need to get to. And sometimes at this level you see kids just go, and they try to get to a hole or get outside. Soren seems to have a real nice patience along with good vision about how he runs. And then on top of it, he's a load to try to bring down. So I agree with you that he'll present a lot of problems for Bloomfield. On the other side, one thing you talked about is in practice, how do you replicate what Killingly does? Well, how do you replicate what Bloomfield does if you're Killingly, in that team speed for Bloomfield has always been something that they have used to their advantage. They will put kids who can run all over the field. Their defense will fly to the ball. Their offense will move. So how do you replicate the speed of a team that you're facing? So in other words, how's Killingly going to the drawing board this week against a team like Bloomfield?
To be honest with you, there's not much they can do. I mean, you can take your defensive ends in practice coming against the offense. You can line them up off sides. That will replicate it a little bit. But that's the one thing as the unknown for tonight. Killingly, I don't think, has seen any team with this speed in the past, playing in the ECC in the small division. Even at the playoff level, I don't think they face this team speed, and that's going to be one thing they're going to really have to contain them.
Now, the wind is going to be a factor tonight, and for Bloomfield, if they want to put the ball in the air, the wind is going to be blowing strong towards the Killingly scoreboard tonight, so it is whipping around down there. You know, it's like the Patriots, this week they have to try to have someone come into practice and replicate Lamar Jackson. Well, guess what? You can't do that. You can't find anyone that can do that. Tonight, Killingly will not have seen a team who throws the ball like Bloomfield has. In their first 2 games, Killingly saw Montville and NFA, and neither of them can throw the ball like Bloomfield can. They're not going to have the same athletes. It's going to be an interesting, this is why I love these battles, it's going to be an interesting tug of war, chess match between 2 different styles. Who can inflict their style onto the other team? And just like you said, Bloomfield's going to have to tackle 34. What does Killingly have to do? Is it as simple as defend the wideouts? Is it pressure the quarterback? What does Killingly defensively have to do against a team like Bloomfield?
So far this year in Killingly's first 2 games, they've sat in the 32 with a cover 4 shell, so they're playing a soft secondary, and they're not giving up anything over the top, any big plays. I see them doing that tonight, and they're going to mix in a blitz here, a blitz there. What it's going to come down to, I feel, is when they do blitz, they're going to have to play man to that side, and then there's the young quarterback Forcer from Bloomfield. Is he qualified yet to pick up that pre-snap blitz and be able to check to the man side? That's going to be important, and more important than anything, can Bloomfield hold up against the Killingly blitzes, which they've run 2 or 3 very successfully with number 25 for Killingly.
Brady O'Donnell last week was a menace. He ate NFA up early. It seems like Killingly has that guy often, that undersized guy, but who's tenacious and can get to the quarterback, and he certainly did that. He's hard to see, and he got them there. And you're right, when NFA had success, it was actually over the middle, underneath, into the middle of that zone, and that's where they scored their touchdown. So, I think you're right. I think they're definitely going to try to keep everything in front of them, try to keep Bloomfield in between the 20s in the middle of the field, and force the sophomore quarterback to make decisions. And Chad Neal's going to have this team schemed up to make that quarterback make those decisions, and I think that's going to be one of the more interesting points of the night. The other part with Killingly that I think goes underrated is you look at their offensive line, and it's almost a perfect offensive line in that they've got size. The XR Julius brothers are, too athletic, 235. Allen is big. Ortiz is a giant. So they've got good size on the offensive line, which allows them to, to really get physical. I think Killingly wants to, in the first couple of quarters, wants to beat you up so that they can take advantage of you late. Bloomfield's going to need to not give up those big plays. And right on cue, one of the best entrances. Let's take a look at the Killingly High School football team. So we are seconds away from the coin flip, and the captain's heading out onto the middle of the field, and we will be just minutes away from kickoff here at Killingly High School. All the action live on game day. Casey O'Neill and Jack Cochran live here at Killingly High School. And Coach, one other thing, for a team like Bloomfield, Killingly is an environment unlike a lot of the places they're going to go to. It's a long trip up here into the, the northeast corner, and it's a beautiful complex here. But, what do you, as a coach, what did you do to prepare your teams for those drives into quite frankly, communities unlike the ones they're used to?
To be honest with you, I was fortunate. I read a lot on sports psychology, and I gathered a lot of some great information. We used to schedule our scrimmages, nothing under an hour drive, sometimes an hour and a half. We would actually take the players during the week. If it was a long drive, we would drive to Killenly, like on a Wednesday or a Thursday, and get used to it. And then it sounds crazy, but we used to arrive sometimes 3.5 to 3 hours before kickoff. And that was just something we did, and we loved playing away because when we beat a team on their field, we used to take the dirt home with us in the grass. And,
what do you do when
what
do you do when it's turf?
Well, we try to cut a little piece they're not going to see.
I think, as someone who's traveled on a lot of buses in my life, I think there is something to that, something to preparing for everyone tries to prepare for the opponent. No one ever prepares for the travel, which is absolutely a part. I go back to when in New London High School, we had to play Northwest Valley Regional of Winstead. It's literally the farthest point in Connecticut that you can get to from New London. It was a 2 hour plus bus drive. We were trying to convince then athletic director Salamani to, pony up for a coach bus. We can't take the yellow bus to 2.5 hours. But that was definitely unique. So the coin flip is up. Killingly's captains, Bloomfield captains shaking hands. And we are moments away from kickoff here. Fired up, both sides. Bloomfield and the Florida Gators, blue and orange. Killingly in the home. It looks a little bit like Alabama and Florida out there on the field right now. I love the Killingly uniforms and Bloomfield. Very simple. Killingly in the home white with the maroon. We will be back with our opening kickoff right after our national anthem, which we will keep here. National anthem performed by the Killingly High School band. Officials on the middle of the field, and I gotta think, I haven't looked too closely around the state, and I'm sure there are other big games, but from a rankings standpoint, Killingly currently number 4 in the state poll and number 1 in Double M. They are the defending Class M champions. I don't care if Bloomfield's ranked or not, or where they're ranked. They're Bloomfield. They're 2-0. They're good, and they're unafraid. And I think that's, you talked about Killingly kind of putting the ECC on its shoulders, and it certainly is the premier program in the ECC. The thing I love about a program like Bloomfield, which is a perennial power, is they're unafraid. They are not afraid of this moment. They have played moments like this before. They will kick off, and receiving for Killingly deep will be Jax on one side and Colangelo on the other. Kicking off for Bloomfield, Matthew Miller, and we are underway at Killingly. Kick comes down, bounces once. Jax takes it at the 10 and heads straight up the middle of the field. Breaks a tackle, rumbles up to the 40-yard line, drags some Bloomfield Warhawks with him, and he is up to the 40-yard line. So great starting field position for Killingly High School.
Short kick, great acceleration by Jax. He had the lane to the left. I think he would have scored if he cut it up left.
Jax will be prominently featured in the offense, of course, from the tight end wide position, but Killingly will focus on Soren Reef, the number 1 running back currently, and Drybolt under center on first down. Toss right to Reef. Reef cuts it back, breaks the first contact, and then wrestled down right around midfield, gain of 8 on first down.
Kinley came out in a too tight power I, caught Bloomfield by surprise. They never made the adjustment. They played the set with 4 defensive backs. If they don't make the adjustment quick, this could be a long night.
Into the wind on this first possession is Killingly, so they're going to be going straight into it on second and short. Toss the other way to Reef, and puts his head down, a nice step up, and into the tackle. Davian Kerr stood him up for about no gain. It's going to be 3rd and inches.
Great play by Kerr there. He took Perry on in the backfield, made Reef come to a stop, and killed the play. If he can do that tonight, he could cause a lot of problems for the Kinley offense.
Yeah, you said, they're going to have to tackle, and I think there's the strategy, right? First guy has to go low, second guy has to come and clean it up, and that's what they did there. A good job of 2-man tackling. 3rd and short now right at midfield. Fullback dive, first down, and more in the open. Still moving down the sideline goes Keith Perry, crosses the 30 and into the 28-yard line before he's down. A big run by Perry.
Bloomfield gambled there. They ran a double A-gap blitz. Kinley ran a straight fullback spin, which is a fullback belly B-gap weak. And once he got by the line, there was no linebackers in the B-gap.
And that's been, and we'll talk about it, the Killingly running back situation for a decade now has been 2 guys. A little stretch to Soren Reef, and he's bulls forward, crosses the 20 to the 18-yard line. He'll be right near a first down.
Yeah, Kinley came out of the eye. They went to a veer set. Reef in a strong veer spot. They ran a quick off tackle with Reef, and there was nobody in the C-gap. Great acceleration there by Soren, and he got some extra yards, 2nd and 1.
Killingly has had 2 backs for any number of years. Reef, when he was young, had Jack Sharp. Now it's Reef along with Perry. There's the dive. Perry, he's going to have the first down to the 15, and the chains will move again. As usual, an efficient drive here by Killingly.
Right now, Kinley's controlling the line of scrimmage. Bloomfield's in a 2 safety, 2 outside backer look. They just don't have enough players in the box to hold up to this double tight. He's going to have to make an adjustment quick. It's going to hurt him all night.
Jax goes wide right. Colangelo wide left.
Sweep.
Drybolts under center. Reef hit immediately as soon as he touches the football. John Milner-Jones, the linebacker, stepped in and hit him before he could get his feet moving.
Okay, Bloomfield made the adjustment. They brought another defensive lineman into the game, 75, took out a D-back that secured an extra gap in the box, and it was a good call by Coach Outlaw. Let's see if it makes a difference to him.
Killingly going to go back to one of their favorite power sets, Reef behind Perry and Colangelo. Now Colangelo stutter steps, goes to the left side, toss left to Reef, gets a block, but a nice tackle from behind. Stepping in from behind and making the tackle is Davian Kerr, and it looked like on the initial toss that Reef had a lot of daylight. Kerr did a nice time trailing the play.
Yeah, Davian, he hit the A-gap blitz. They pulled the left guard, and he hit it right behind him. Great job by Davian reading that. We got 3rd and long.
And this is the down and distance that Killingly is unaccustomed to, right? So we know they can throw the ball, but do you want to throw it on a down and distance, not in your comfort zone? Drybolts is also the kicker. He's got a fabulous leg. He's well within his range here. So depending on what happens here on 3rd down, this could be 4-down territory. Let's see what Killingly does out of the eye, and we're going to get a whistle. And a timeout. Killingly. They never seem to be completely set. So we've got our first timeout of the game, and we're going to go and this timeout brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better at Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Much better. So much better.
Wreath coming out of the backfield.
3rd and 10 at the 15-yard line for Killingly.
There
Dry
he
ball,
is.
straight drop.
There he is.
And he threw under the middle on a little route to the running back, Reef, but it was
He
broken
had him
up.
open too.
And he had him. It'll be 4th down. Now, we apologize. Our clock graphic is not working. You see the scoreboard there. That's working. But we are 7:49 remaining here in the first period. And Killingly on 4th and 10 is going to keep the offense on the field. It looks like they're going to stay in it. Again, Drybolts is the place kicker. He's outstanding. The matchup to look at right now is Matthew Miller, number 7, out on the far right with Ben Jacks. That is the matchup to look for right here. Colangelo on the short side. I formation for Killingly on 4th down. Drybolts to throw.
There it is.
Fade
He
route
had
to
the tight
Jacks.
end.
Has him, and he overthrows him out of the end zone, and the
that's a
flag
bad
comes in
call.
late. Flag comes in late. Miller was defending Jacks. They're going to get him on a hold, and that'll be a penalty on Bloomfield. And there's now Bloomfield saying it's going to go the other way. Let's see what the officials say. Bloomfield's celebrating, which means they might be calling this offensive pass interference. We'll have to see what the officials come up with.
Yeah, they had both players bumping the whole play. There should be a no call. The ball was 20 yards over his head, uncatchable. It is going to go on Killingly.
And if that's the case, then I would imagine a decline the penalty and take over on the 15. I don't know that they're going to want to give him another opportunity to.
Bloomfield.
Oh, they called it on Bloomfield.
Defensive holding on Bloomfield. So it'll stay 4th down. They mark off the penalty, so now it's 4th and 2. Don't get me started on the high school rules and the penalties, because I really no longer understand them to exactly. But ball is now marked at the 7-yard line, 4th and 2, Killingly from the eye. Hard count by Drybolts. Now he's looking over for an audible change the play at the line, making contact on the sideline, looking over at Colangelo. Taking his time, and Killingly's going to call it second timeout. We're going to keep it here. Very unusual for Chad Neal coach team to have this level of indecision. 2 timeouts in the first half of the first quarter, or 7:42 here in the first period, and Killingly's used its second timeout.
Yeah, he wanted to see what front. They stayed straight man. They brought the extra tackle in the gap, and the play he liked wasn't there. Going back to the last call, that was not a defensive holding that I saw.
So this is interesting, right? Killingly 4th and 2. This is a bread and butter down and distance for Killingly. You have to, this is where they put hat on hat and hand the ball to Soren Reef. Whatever look they get, they have to run the play that they're most comfortable with, and I think that's why they're back in power. Whatever Bloomfield gives them for a look right now, Killingly's going to run power on 4th and 2. Their strength against their strength, and see what happens. 4th and 2. Toss left to Reef. Hit immediately and stopped right at the 10, short of the first down. Bloomfield has held. It was Davian Kerr and Davion Kerr, the brothers Kerr, and Soren Reef was cursed on that play, if you will, and it's a turnover on downs. Bloomfield will take over at their own 10. So the first Killingly drive, which started off very promising, stalls at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, they brought the D end inside the tight end, and they blew him up on a crash, and the fullback didn't pick him up. Good call by Coach Outlaw and the Bloomfield Warhawks.
So Bloomfield will have its first offensive possession. We'll be talking about sophomore quarterback Darian Foster, number 2, big 5'11", 195 sophomore. And he will line up under center on first down.
Miller on the carry.
Handoff wide left, and breaking a tackle is Davian Kerr. And Kerr will get 8 yards on first down. I thought there was a little contact, nice little stutter step by Kerr.
Yeah, Bloomfield came up in a tight 2-by-2 set. They put their slot in their receiver 2 yards from the tackle. They got 2 extra blockers. Killingly's secondary did not make an adjustment to the play. It almost went for a touchdown.
And that's be careful with the speed of Bloomfield. If Kerr got outside, it would have been trouble Now going on to the other side is Rodriguez, and from the shotgun is Foster to throw on second down. Nothing there, pressured. Evades one, trying to evade another. Gets to the outside, first down, crosses the 20 to the 22. So Darian Foster, nice job that time after the initial play, getting a first down and moving the chains.
Yeah, Bloomfield second and short. They went over the top, had a deep concept. Kinley did a great job in coverage. Nobody bit. Kinley, Foster did a hell of a job to scramble for the first down. I thought there was offsides on the play.
First and 10, Bloomfield from the 23-yard line. Foster will operate. Shotgun to his right is Edwin Rodriguez. 4 wide receivers, twins on each side. Handoff Rodriguez, off tackle left, and he reaches out to about the 30-yard line. And gain of 4 on first down. 6:35 remaining here in the first period, no score.
Straight outside zone, great run, picked up about 6. Got a couple yards after contact. The outside backer from Kinley got pinned in.
Second and 4. Same formation, twins on both sides. Foster to throw. Quick screen, has a man. Breaks a tackle, showing speed, and first down, crossing the 40 to the 45-yard line is Jose Feliciano, the junior wide receiver. Broke a tackle, and little burst has Bloomfield operating now. They started at their own 10. They're all the way up now to their own 44-yard line.
Foster is 1 for 1 in blitz pickup. Kinley brought a double blitz, middle and outside backer to the field. Foster saw it, checked to the quick stop route into the boundary, and it went for 12 yards. Great job by Foster. If he picks those up, it's going to give Kinley a lot of trouble tonight.
Empty backfield, trips right with a sole guy left. Foster from the shotgun to throw. Little screen, out it goes to Kerr. Kerr cuts back inside. He's hit immediately by Potapsky and brought down after a short game, maybe 2. Nice job that time. Getting inside of the blocker was Alex Potapsky, and second and long for Bloomfield.
Bloomfield ran the tunnel screen to the field. On those plays, that pass has to be perfect for that play to work. It was low, made number 3 come back too far inside, and it was doomed from the beginning. It's got to be a sharp pass, letter high in the chest for that to work.
Bloomfield is operating with the wind. There is a good stiff breeze on the field right now. 5 minutes and counting here in the first period. No score. Bloomfield on the move. Twins right. Now in motion goes Davion Kerr. Handoff to the fullback is good for a first down as Rodriguez puts his head down and crosses midfield into Killingly territory to the 45-yard line. That's a 46-yard line, but that's a tough run by Edwin Rodriguez, only a sophomore.
Yeah, they brought the slot in motion. They faked the jet sweep and ran a dive back to the opposite side. Fooled Killingly defense off the jump, and the B gap was wide open. Inside backer flowed too far over the top.
And this is overall a young Bloomfield team. The Kerrs are juniors, the quarterback's a sophomore, the running backs are juniors and sophomores. So a lot of young skill position players on the field for Bloomfield right now. And Foster, the sophomore, from the shotgun is going to throw. Zips it out. It goes to Kerr. Kerr gets to the sideline. Kerr breaks a tackle and tripped up from behind by Braden Peterson. But Davion Kerr, with a burst of speed, has Bloomfield in the red zone, ball marked right at the 20-yard line.
What you see in Casey, we talked about it pregame, Kinley's playing a soft cover 4. They don't want to get beat over the top. They're giving up anything in front. And Bloomfield knows that from their scouting. They ran 5 straight short, quick screens, and 4 of them worked.
Foster under center now on first down. Handoff Rodriguez, and he's hit immediately by Allen. He'll fall forward for maybe a gain of 3, but Terrence Allen got his arms wrapped around him almost immediately.
I tell you, this Rodriguez really impresses me, the running back for Bloomfield. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage and still got 3 yards, so kid's running real hard.
Second and 8, 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the first period, no score. Killingly drove the field, and their drive stalled at the 10-yard line. Bloomfield took over and has been moving the chains efficiently now down to the Killingly 22, where they will operate here on second and 8. Foster under center. Hands off to Kerr. Kerr hit and ridden out of bounds by Jax after a gain of 3. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. And I think Bloomfield's in 4-down territory now too. So 2 plays to get 5 yards. It'll be interesting to see here with a shorter field, not having to worry about, over the top quite as much. Does Killingly bring any of the safeties up a little bit here to help out?
Bloomfield ran a tight bunch to the boundary. Jax made a heck of a play, came up through 3 blockers. Without that, it was in the end zone.
3rd and 5. Foster rolls right, plenty of time. Now looking, wants to throw, keeps it himself, and he's pushed out of bounds by Perry. And he's very close. Let's see where he's marked. He's marked at the 12-yard line.
That's a first.
Excuse me, call that the 13-yard line. They're moving the chains now. And it's going to be 1st down, and they're bringing it, it looks like, is it to the 13-yard line? 13-14, yeah, so right around the 14-yard line. 1st and 10, Bloomfield.
We had a boot pass to the field. Kinley did a great job not biting up, getting fooled by the play action. Give Foster a lot of credit for Bloomfield. He had everybody covered. He was calm. He was patient, and he tucked the ball and got the 1st down. Great job. This young kid's really impressed me tonight, Darian Foster.
2 minutes remaining here in the first period. Bloomfield on the move, 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Foster from the shotgun. High snap. Recovers. Throws. Complete. And reaching for the pylon and just shy of it is Jaden Johnson. And, of all the things Foster has done tonight, Coach, whether it's patience or not, handling that snap and keeping his wits about him and then still looking to make a play and completing the pass for what's going to be a 1st down. So 1st and goal for Bloomfield from the 3-yard line.
Foster made a heck of a job. Coach Outlaw's got to fix that. He's not going with a square stance. He's staggering his stance, which he can't react to that high snap. He's got to fix that.
Handoff, Kerr. Kerr waltzes into the end zone. Davian Kerr, touchdown, Warhawks. And for the first time this year, Killingly on the wrong end of a score at 6-0 Bloomfield.
That was a heck of a drive. I believe they started inside their own 10. 7 first downs, and they just kept churning. No mistakes, no penalties. They responded with a 90-something yard drive. You got to give the Warhawks credit. They had a big stop. Killingly looked like they were going in, and they even got a lot of help from the 3rd down holding penalty.
1:24 remaining in the first period. 6-0 Bloomfield. They'll go for 2. Rodriguez and Kerr in the eye. Dive to Rodriguez, and he will be in for the 2-point conversion. So 1:24 remaining in period number 1. 8-0 Bloomfield on top. Killingly in a unique situation for them, down 8 points, something that they have not had happen to them in quite some time. And we'll see how they rally as they will receive the kickoff. The last time the kickoff by Miller was short, Jax had a great return.
So far I think that's the biggest play in the game. Bloomfield came out up 6-0, went for 2. Fullback went in pretty much untouched, but that's going to put a lot of pressure on Killingly now. They're going to be chasing that 1 point the rest of the game. I know they have an excellent kicker.
After the game, we're going to find us on social media at Game Day CT for our interview with the Foxwoods player of the game. Summer isn't over at Foxwoods. Hard pressed. Doesn't feel like summer, but you should fall into Foxwoods. Foxwoods.com, a resort casino, the wonder of it all. Check out all the great entertainment. You still got time to check out The Price is Right live at Foxwoods.
Jax almost broke the last one. Let's see if, yeah, they did. They kicked.
Jax picks it up at the 12-yard line. Heads up the middle. Much better coverage by Bloomfield. Jax crosses the 20, and that's where Killingly will take it this time. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
That was a great adjustment by the Warhawks. Last kickoff, Jax almost broke. They kicked a pooch kick to the right. Killingly did not have a receiver in that area, so they did a great job scouting this, and Killingly has to move that wing back, or they're going to hit him with that again.
1:16 remaining here in the first period. Killingly trailing 8-0. 1st down, Dreibholz under center. Dreibholz keeps it himself, and he is going to be hit and ridden out of bounds by Davion Kerr. No gain on the play, maybe a loss of 1. And right now, Killingly losing the battle at the line of scrimmage as Bloomfield doing a great job sending pressure on every play.
That was a great discipline. Kinley ran a veer option. Quarterback kept it. One guy had the assignment of quarterback, and he kept the discipline, and he covered him. Bloomfield made the adjustment when Kinley got in the red zone last series, and they brought in an extra D lineman, and it's really working. They're playing straight man over the top. Kinley's going to have to start loosening them up and throwing the football, which they're in spread now.
Dry pulse. Underneath it goes, pass caught. And up near the first down marker goes Braden Peterson, and it'll be a 3rd and short. Or they're going to move the chain. So first down, great pass underneath by Drybolts, and there's a Killingly first down.
Good adjustment. Bloomfield has 7 in the box. They're giving up the short route. 2 deep safeties, 2 up tight corners. They have nobody playing over the slot. So Kinley wants it. They have that all day.
Twin receivers, both sides. Reef is the lone setback behind Drybolts. Reef, handoff, right tackle, nothing there. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but big 75, DeAndre Alvello, 6'2", 340, put the hat on Reef. We're at the end of the first period. Killingly with the ball, trailing 8-0. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Game Day is calling all fans, players, parents, coaches. We want your best plays. Send us a video on any of our social media platforms of any sport, practice, or game, and we will consider it for our plays of the week. Game Day is a production of The Day Publishing Company. If you'd like to support Game Day and help us continue to bring you the best in Connecticut high school sports, please consider purchasing a print or digital subscription to The Day at theday.com/subscribe. Back here at Killingly High School, you're watching Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that is good begins with a smile, and when you visit their office, your smile is their top priority. Contact them today at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. Their team is dedicated to providing you the personalized and gentle care you deserve. It's Waterford Dental Health. Casey O'Neill, along with the coach, Jack Cochran. We're here at Killingly High School, where something we haven't seen in quite a while, a team stepping up and stopping Killingly on one side and then driving down the field and scoring on the other. The Bloomfield Warhawks up 8-0. Killingly with the football 2nd and long. Now Killingly has the wind, which we'll see if they want to try to take advantage of that as they have a 2nd and 11. They're going to send Colangelo and Jax to the left. They'll operate out of the I. Drybolts fakes the handoff, dumps it out to Reef. And a high tackle made by Davion Kerr. And Reef for a 4-yard loss. And it's going to be 3rd and 16 for Killingly.
Anybody watching this game at home, you'll see number 3 Kerr is spying on Reef. Great plan. He's got a offer to UMass. Shows how great of a prospect he is, and I think it's a great plan by Coach Outlaw and the Warhawks. They're putting their best player on Killingly's best player one-on-one, and he's been up to the task so far.
I formation for Killingly on 3rd and very long, just starting here in the 2nd quarter. Drybolts to throw. Has a man incomplete. He had twin receivers, Jax and Colangelo. Both were running free, but the football was in between them, and it's going to bring up 4th down. And something that Drybolts also has not had to do all year, punt. And we'll see Killingly punt the football away. Big leg for this kid with the wind. I would expect this one to travel quite a distance.
You know, what you saw there was just lack of experience, lack of practice in the 5-step drop. Killingly had to do a deep route. It was 3rd and 16, and then you saw the receivers were wide open, but there was just no timing at all on that play.
The Kerrs back for Bloomfield stand at their own 35-yard line. Drybolts, no pressure. High punt. Over the head of Kerr, he muffs it, and he picks it up at the 25-yard line.
Oh, boy.
Trying to get to the outside. Now he's in some trouble. Goes back the other way, breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, and after all of that, gets back to about where he muffed the punt in the first place, the 32-yard line. So all the running around, he ran about 40 yards, and he's limping over to the bench right now, and he's going to be attended to there, but ran about 40 yards to get maybe 1 after muffing the punt.
Yeah, I wish he would have just took the ball and went north and south on the punt. They had no blocking in front of him. It was very, very risky there. I think he lost about 5. He could have lost 20, but he's trying.
27-yard line is where they'll mark it. 1st and 10, Bloomfield with their second offensive possession of the ball game. They went over 90 yards on their first offensive possession for a touchdown, and they have it back going into the wind, up 8-0. Single running back, handoff. Rodriguez up the middle, and he has a gain of 4 on 1st down, and Rodriguez has been doing a nice job. You said you liked him. The power-speed combination, good vision, and he gains 5 on 1st.
Yeah, Bloomfield's sitting in that 32, and they're putting a lot of pressure on the B gaps. They're making that linebackers step up. Number 25 right now is just physically overmatched. I think what you're going to start seeing now for the next 10 minutes is conditioning. I'm counting both teams have 8 guys going both ways, and that fatigue is going to start to set in. We'll see which team is in better shape.
Trips left for Bloomfield, single wide right. Rodriguez is the running back to the left of Gary and Foster, the sophomore quarterback from the shotgun. He wants to throw. They blew up the bubble screen. Now he's in trouble, and he's going to be, we'll call it a sack, but I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 5. Give credit to Potapsky. They Killingly did a nice job recognizing the screen, and they blew it up, and Foster made a nice decision.
Yep, Foster, they stopped the bubble screen. Killingly made the adjustment. What I like to see Foster do is just throw the ball over his head into the stands. Don't hold the ball out in front of you. Don't take the extra hits just to gain a yard.
Give the sophomore credit. He has made a lot of good decisions thus far, kept his head about him, and he recognized right away that there was nothing there, and it'll bring up 3rd and 5 for Killingly. They will have twin receivers left and right. Rodriguez will be next to, now he's moving over, so we'll see what set they run here. Foster from the shotgun. And flag down on the play. I think that one's going to be a false start or delay a game. Delay a game against Bloomfield, so it'll back them up 5. And it'll be 3rd and 10 here with 9 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the second period. As you see, 8-0 Bloomfield.
Yeah, this is a key stop for Killingly. 3rd and 10. They have to get the defense off the field and get Soren Reef and the offense back out quickly, down 8.
Foster from the shotgun. Screen, it goes to Kerr. Kerr looking to break it down. Potapsky does, and coming up, and he missed. Jack's miss, and finally wrestled out of bounds, but it'll bring up 4th and short. Be interesting to see what Bloomfield does here. So give Kerr credit, because that was stopped for nothing. Potapsky tried to force him out, and then he broke the tackle of Jack's.
Yeah, we got 4th and 1. I like to see him go for this.
It'll be interesting. Does Killingly want to send everybody and leave Colangelo out on an island, leave Jax out on an island?
I don't see an extra D tackle. You are not going to stop Rodriguez with 3 D linemen. So I think Rodriguez is getting the ball.
We've seen this set, twins both sides, Rodriguez next to Foster, and now Bloomfield's going to take a timeout. They're going to talk about it. So timeout on the field, and this timeout is brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better at Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better at Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
Deep in route. 4th and 1. Trying to draw him off sides is Foster. Hard count. Now the sophomore is going to get the play. He's going to throw.
Oh, wow.
Zips it.
Gutsy call.
First
Great call.
down, Bloomfield. Jose Feliciano. First down, Warhawks.
You know, they ran this play in the first quarter. Killingly showed a late double-wide blitz. Foster picked it up. They made the check, and it was a heck of a read again by Foster. I tell you what, he's playing a hell of a game, that Darian Foster.
Well, the decision was interesting. The throw was right on the money, which is not, that's if that throw's not out immediately and in his hands, that's going to be problems. So, first down Bloomfield. The big play was the third down run by Kerr to get him in position. Toss right to Kerr.
Oh, boy.
Kerr's got some room, gets to the sideline, and first down, moves the chains and crosses into Killingly territory. Bloomfield having its way with Killingly right now.
Well, Bloomfield ran trips bunch, so they had Killingly outnumbered by 2 defenders on that play, so there was really no opportunity for Killingly to stop that other than a 7, 8, 9, 10-yard gain. So Killingly's going to have to make an adjustment to that set. Hopefully one of their coaches up top picks it up.
I'm going to have him out of bounds just shy of the first down, so it'll be 2nd and 1. Ball into Killingly territory at the 49-yard line. 8 minutes and 9 seconds remaining here in the second period. Foster from the shotgun, zips it out, little screen complete to Feliciano, weak side flag. Feliciano still on his feet, breaks a tackle, and he's down at the 33-yard line.
Looks like we got a clip, block and blow to waste.
One of the dangers of those quick screens is it does require blocks from multiple players out on the wide side there, and that's recipe for a clip. That'll bring Bloomfield back. That's too bad. A big play by Feliciano.
Yeah, it wasn't needed. It was nowhere near the play. It was the left tackle. I think that call a little suspect myself. That might have been a favorable home call there.
Ball goes back to the 39-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 12, maybe 2nd and 13 for Bloomfield. It is 2nd and 13. Foster from the shotgun, moving Rodriguez around here on 2nd and long. Gonna throw. Bloomfield, he has time. No one open. Now looking, zips in. Was it incomplete? Yes, just out of the reach of Kerr. Beautiful throw by Foster under the circumstances. Killingly did a nice job that time in coverage.
Yeah, that was the first mistake I think Foster made. Foster could have easily picked up at least 10, 15 yards and possibly gotten the first down. There was nothing but green grass in front of him.
So 3rd and long, going into the wind. So I think this is where I think coaches need to adjust, and I'm not suggesting that Killingly's not, but that ball over the top, you got to take maybe 10 yards off of that because of the wind. So if you thought you had a certain shell that you could go to on a deep ball, I would bring my guys up a little bit here because I don't know that Foster's comfortable trying to throw a ball 40, 50 yards into this wind.
Yeah, a lot of it cases the spin. If you got good spin, good velocity, you could throw in anything.
And we're going to get a timeout Bloomfield with 7:34 remaining here. 8-0 Bloomfield on top. We will keep it here as we head into week 3 here of the high school football season. The Killingly high school football team 4th in the state, down 8-0 to perennial powerhouse Bloomfield as the Warhawks have come here to Killingly. It's got it all on game day. Casey O'Neill along with the coach, Jack Cochran. And, what's always interesting to me in games like this is when teams decide to change strategy. Bloomfield right away made a decision that I'm sure they talked about all week long. If Killingly comes out and pushes us around, we're going to have to add a lineman, and they did. So at one point, at some point they knew they were going to do that. But at what point does Killingly, change what it's doing defensively? How patient do you have to be? Is there a score? Is there something you see with your eyes, the players on the field? When do you know it's time to change it up?
Well, it's been working for Killingly in this second quarter, and it comes down to mistakes. Bloomfield shot themselves in the foot. They were down inside the 30, getting ready to put their second score in, but they got a very bad holding penalty. So it's very hard for a high school football team to sustain a 60, 70, 80-yard drive without making a mistake.
3rd and 13.
There's that bunch set with the trips.
Killingly crowd is into it. Play action. Pressure by Allen. Foster throws.
Ooh,
complete. And no, was he inbounds?
Yeah.
Were they marking him right at the stick?
First down.
Jaden Johnson. What a great throw by Foster, pressured by Allen, and he got the ball to Jaden Johnson for a first down.
I think the matchup here, you have two DNs for Kinley that just can't get to the quarterback. They're physical run stoppers, and I would love to see Kinley put in two rushmen, two edge guys that can contain this quarterback, because 3 times tonight Forces just put a quick juke on these two guys. They're really defensive tackles playing defensive end, and they're not going to catch Forster tonight, those two.
Killingly now with only 3 down linemen. They're going to challenge Bloomfield to run the football. Inside handoff to Kerr, and he's popped and buried by Perry right as he got to the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 2nd and 9. Good contact by Perry.
Yeah, good job there by the inside linebacker. Did not get fooled this time by the jet sweep and hung in there and made the play.
Over at Ledyard High School tonight, it's 20 for Ledyard, 3 for Bacon Academy as they head into halftime. We'll get other scores as they come in. Of course, if you're watching us or listening to us and you know a score of a high school football game, don't hesitate to send it to us on Twitter. 2nd and 9. Foster, quick screen, it goes out to Kerr. And that's a good job by Killingly, holding him up and wrapping him up.
Yeah, that time Bloomfield picked the wrong side. They had the blitz coming from the field, and they had man coverage to the field, and they ended up throwing the screen into the boundary. It was 3-on-2. That play was doomed before the snap.
Good game. Berlin and Fitch tied at 7 at the end of the first. That's a good game tonight between the team I think is the other team in the ECC that's shown a lot of early promise, which is Fitch, against a very capable Berlin team, another very solid program in the state. Speaking of solid programs, Bloomfield, 3rd and 9 from the shotgun. Foster, he's done everything right so far tonight. Killingly sends pressure. Deep ball. And we're going to get a flag on...
Yeah, he tackled him.
Flag on Colangelo is going to come down because he was beat. He was beat on the outside by Kerr, and the flag goes down, and it will be a penalty against Killingly.
Bloomfield ran a double move, a curl and go, and Killingly did a heck of a job. The corner, I believe that was that Noah Colangelo? Hell of a job. He was beat. So in high school, you take the penalty every time. You tackle him, you grab his jersey, you grab his feet, and you only lose 15 yards. So not like college, not like the NFL. Great job by the Killingly corner keeping them in play.
5:50 remaining here in the half. 8-0 Bloomfield. Moving the chains now. First down as they're at the 37-yard line. Rodriguez with the handoff. Bounces off a tackle and drags 2 Killingly football linemen forward for a gain of about 6 on first down.
Okay, good. Another good run. Yak hit at the line of scrimmage, ends up with a 5-yard gain. Killingly that time had a snake call with the DN where he fired inside the tackle to the B gap and stuffed the play. Rodriguez has to see that and bounce it one hole wider. He would have had a big gain.
Our own Vicky Fulkerson says 7-6 Stonington leads New London after 1 quarter. She's complaining that the temperature is plummeting. Vicky, I'd remind you that we're in New England. 2nd down and 7. Handoff again, Rodriguez, and he'll drag the pile close to a first down. It'll be 3rd and short for Bloomfield. That being said, Vicky, it is 56 and plummeting here at Killingly as well. It is chilly. Fall has hit us in one fell swoop.
Okay, another A-gap dive. It's just that they're giving it to him. They're sitting in the 30 front. It's going to be tough for that linebacker 25 to step up and take on these guards, but he's playing it hard and he's doing his best.
Keep in mind, Bloomfield will get the ball to start the second half. We're 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. Bloomfield on top 8-0 with a 3rd and short. Ball on the Killingly side of it. Inside the 25, toss left, Kerr cuts it back up the middle, great vision, breaks a tackle,
Touchdown.
1 man to beat, touchdown Bloomfield, Davian Kerr, great vision, great cutback, Warhawks up 15-0.
That was a great call by Bloomfield. Give credit to the offensive coordinator. The play before, Killingly stacked the inside to take away the dive. That was 3rd and 2. They ran a toss sweep. There was nobody there in the C gap for the cutback. So good call by Bloomfield, and now we're all going to see what type of program Kinley is. They haven't been down 2 scores in a while, and we'll see what kind of adjustment these coaches can make.
Well, I said 15-0. It's actually 14-0 because they went for 2 the first time, and they're about to go for 2 again. So they're going to operate out of the I formation. Foster will be under center. Rodriguez and Kerr in the I. Dive, Rodriguez, and that's too easy. If he can get his feet going, he's there, but Killingly rallies to stop him. So a big stop here with 4:16 remaining, and it's 14-0. Bloomfield on top. So, Coach, Killingly wins the state championship last year. They've won multiple state championships in the last 7 years. They come in highly ranked. They roll over 2 opponents in their first 2 games. This is not only a situation that they haven't seen in the ECC. They haven't seen this situation, anywhere. 14-0 against a team that has moved the football, with ease. Every time Killingly has gotten close, Bloomfield's had an answer. So with 4:16 remaining in the half, we'll see what Dreibholz and company comes up with as Bloomfield will kick off.
Yeah, the thing with playing in the ECC, especially in the ECC small division, Kinley's going to have great records every year, 10-0, 9-1, but they're not going to see competition. The big thing people got to understand is this football alliance in Connecticut started in 2017, and if I'm right, this is the first year that Kinley has taken part in it. So they have not played the top competition around the state. They've chosen to stay in the ECC small and play smaller schools like Cumberland, Rhode Island around the state. So this might be a little bit of a shock.
Peterson takes the kickoff on the pooch, and he'll get up to about the 40-yard line. Hey, Montville last week won its first game in over 1,000 days, beating Bacon Academy, and they have a 6-0 lead at the end of the first quarter against Quinnebog Valley. So winning is contagious there in Montville. They're feeling it. They won a game and bouncing up here 6-0 on Quinnebog Valley. Montville, of course, opened the year with Killingly. So that's a great point about the Alliance, Coach. Killingly getting its first taste of what NFA has been tasting over the past few years, which is playing the elites out of conference. And this is a good test for them. Killingly is going to have a great season. It's a great team. This is a great test for them, a team that has come in with a game plan and has executed it, put them on their heels down 14-0 with 4:08 in the half. Dreibholz under center, out of the I. Dreibholz to throw, looking for Jackson, overthrows him at the 40-yard line. Jax was defended by Matthew Miller, one-on-one, and that's where Dreibholz has to put that a little more air under that ball for Jax to be able to get to it.
Matthew Miller, that was perfect man-to-man bump and run technique. He held strong, kept his shoulders square. He got the jam with the outside arm, and the biggest thing that day was it disrupted the timing. Kinley runs that fade every day in practice with a corner at 6 yards deep, never with a guy jamming him, so it's something that they're just not ready for.
2nd and 10. Hand off to Perry on the dive. Well defended, but Perry does a great individual effort, spins and gains 5. Give Perry all the credit in the world as he was hit at the line of scrimmage and all on his own. Wrestled out and got 5 yards to bring up a third manageable 5.
Great effort there by Perry. When have you seen Kinley run 5 plays without number 34 touching the ball? So hopefully to get the ball back in his hands, because he is the difference maker.
They got to find a way. You saw them get him out into a pattern. Here's 3rd and 5 from the I. Roll, and the throw by Dreibholz is low, and that's the first time we've seen a poor throw. He had Perry at the first down marker, rolled right, and couldn't complete it. And with 3:19 remaining in the half, down 14-0, they're on their side of the football, and I think Killingly's going to punt it away.
Yeah, I hate to say it again, but when you run the ball in practice over and over, and you run play action maybe once or twice with the boot, it's just very hard to time these plays up in real-time action.
So Dreibholz will stand at his own 30, and Kerr will go back to their 25-yard line.
Let's hope Kerr learned from the last mistake.
High snap, but Dreibholz gets it, takes his time, waits, now launches a high arcing punt, and it takes a Killingly bounce, and it will go inside the 2-yard line. So fabulous result for Killingly High School as they will put the ball on the 2-yard line. So with 3:03 remaining in the first half, and Bloomfield getting the ball in the second half, a crucial punt for Killingly to pin Bloomfield deep.
What you saw there, anybody out watching this game, any high school players, and the young midget players, one, you have to rush the punter. Nobody rushed the punter. He took his time. Second, you never let that punt hit the ground. You call a fair catch, you catch it in your chest, and you get the ball. They just lost about 28 yards letting that ball hit, and now they're in trouble.
I got to imagine you're going to see Rodriguez here up the gut, similar to what you do on their 2-point conversions. They got to try to get some room. I'll be interested to see will they put it in the air. Handoff, Rodriguez up the middle, and he's going to just bull his way forward for a yard or two, get them off the goal line to maybe the 5-yard line.
Yeah, good strong run. Kinley had 9 guys stacking the box, and Bloomfield got a hell of a push there up front. Rodriguez kept them legs moving, and he only got 3 yards. Look, he got more.
3 yards, but it gets him to the 5, so a little bit more breathing room. Again, they're into the wind as well, so tough to throw it from down here in the shadow of your own end zone. 2:33 remaining here in the half. Remember, Killingly used 2 timeouts on their opening drive. I'm sure they wish they had those timeouts back right now.
Yeah, that's really going to come back to haunt them. You have to save your timeouts, especially for these situations.
Foster to throw. Deep ball, high in the air, and what a catch. Was he inbounds? They're going to say he was out of bounds. Howard Simpson. Now, that throw was as high as Drypolt's punt. It was in the air. The wind got it, knocked it dead back. I mean, it was going straight up and down. And that's a great catch by Howard Simpson, but he couldn't get the foot in. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long. And more importantly, incomplete pass stops the clock. Killingly does not have to use a timeout.
Yeah, great coverage. However, the Killingly defender turned the wrong way. If he opened up and made a zone turn with his eyes on the quarterback, he would have intercepted that.
Yeah, he didn't see the ball. And that was, he was just kind of helpless.
Yeah, there's 2 things, Casey. There's a man turn and a zone turn. So Killingly's playing zone, so he should have turned into the field, into the quarterback, and he would have looked that ball in. Once you turn to the sideline, you're playing blind.
Shotgun, Foster has time. Deep ball down the sideline. We'll get a whistle. They're going to blow that dead. So we'll see what the penalty is. That's probably going to be against Bloomfield. Let's see what the officials signal. Yeah, we're going to get a false start against Bloomfield. So that'll back them back up a couple yards and bring up another 3rd and long.
Brings up a 3rd and about 11 for Bloomfield from the Bloomfield 3-yard line.
3rd down and 10. Ball on their own 3-yard line. A whistle and a timeout, Bloomfield. 2:09 remaining. Timeout, Bloomfield. After the game, you're going to find us on social media at Game Day CT for our interview with the Foxwoods Player of the Game. Summer isn't over at Foxwoods. Summer's never over at Foxwoods. For more details about all the entertainment you can find at Foxwoods, go to foxwoods.com. Foxwoods Resort Casino, the wonder of it all. Casey O'Neill along with Jack Cochran here at Killingly High School. Big play coming up on 3rd and 8 for Bloomfield. They're up 14-0. They're getting the ball to start the second half. All they're trying to avoid here is disaster. Turnover, safety. I would say even a safety would be okay compared to a turnover deep down here.
I would have liked to see Bloomfield handle this series a lot different. If they run the ball 3 times, Killingly has to use their 1 timeout, and they're punting the ball with about 36 seconds. And with Killingly receiving it somewhere near the 40 with no timeout. So I really wish they handled this differently, but that's high school football.
Yeah, and I saw what they were trying on the first down play that everyone knew it was going to go to Rodriguez, and he only got a couple of yards. I saw what they were trying to do on 2nd down, take a shot deep, but you're 100% right. You'd stop the clock, and now the penalty puts them back on their own 2. So if they don't hand the ball off to Rodriguez here, force Killingly to take its last time out, I'll be shocked. But I've been shocked with everything Bloomfield has done this far.
In shotgun.
Shotgun. Foster rolls right.
He's got
pressured.
him.
Has a man deep. Throws it for Kerr, and it's incomplete. He overthrew him. Kerr broke off his route at the 35-yard line. Foster threw it over his head to the 40, and it's going to be a 4th down, and Bloomfield's going to have to punt it from deep out of their own end zone.
He had the second route, the intermediate route, wide open for a 1st down, and he chose to go over the top. I wish he's going to want to take that back when he sees it on film. You always read a bootleg short to high. You never predetermine the deep route. If he simply throws the under route. It's a first down, and he's probably running for another 20.
So out of his own end zone will punt. It looks like Foster is the punter as well. Jax will stand at his own 40. Actually, the Bloomfield 40, so should create a position. Now, the punt was almost blocked. Did he get a piece of it? But a terrible punt and a terrible result. Killingly's going to have the ball inside the 10-yard line. They're going to have it first and goal with 1:53 remaining in the half.
Big mistake there by Killingly. They tried to jump on the ball. That was a live ball if Bloomfield fell on it.
So first down, Killingly. They're going to mark it at the maybe 8-yard line, but it's going to be first and goal with 1:53 remaining. So the Killingly defense holds. The penalty on Bloomfield hurts. The punt was not good, almost blocked, high up into the wind, and it took a terrible Bloomfield bounce as well. And so here on turn of events here at the end of the first half, Killingly with a chance to get on the board, trailing 14-0. Toss right to Reef. Reef breaks one tackle, cuts it back inside, and he'll be down at around the 5-yard line. He broke the tackle of Davian Kerr and cut it back inside, and 1:42 remaining here as we count down. It'll be second and goal.
Yeah, they're really frustrating Reef. They saw the sweep. You could tell when Reef cheats back a little bit in his stance, they're going wide, and they did a great job taking on that fullback.
Second and goal. Ball at the 5-yard line. Perry at fullback and Reef at tailback. Drypolz rolls, has the man, touchdown Killingly! Keith Perry, the fullback, out of the backfield, gets Killingly High School on the board, 14-6 with 1:10 remaining in the half.
Yeah, great call. They read the blitz into the boundary. They slipped the fullback out off the play action to Reef, and there was nobody on him. It was a great call by Killingly and Coach Neal. Puts him right back in the game.
Drypolz will come in for the extra point. The quarterback with the big leg will kick it out of the hold of Perry, who just scored the touchdown, and out of the snap of Jax, the wide receiver. Bloomfield jumps, but Drypolz steps through and drills it, but the flag's going to go down first.
Okay, Coach Neal and Killingly has a big decision here. They're going to get the ball a yard and a half closer to the end zone. Do they go for two?
The reason I would consider going for two is I know Bloomfield's going for two every time they score a touchdown. So I would consider going for two here. They're going to keep Drypolz in, and I get that. He's an outstanding kicker. They'll take the safe extra point here since Bloomfield didn't get the 2-point conversion the last time.
Yeah, you know, you're under 35% success rate on a 2-point conversion. I think this is a good call.
Kick is up, and Drypolz drills it through, and with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining here in the first half, Killingly on the board. It's Bloomfield 14, Killingly 7. So Bloomfield, which has operated so efficiently on offense in the middle of the field all night long, found themselves in a bad position after the punt, which you said, never let it hit the ground. Well, there's a good example of how two punts dramatically affected the result here in the first half. Drypolz's punt hits the turf, takes a great bounce, buries Bloomfield deep. Foster's punt never got off his foot well, takes a bad bounce and gives Killingly first and goal. So
yeah, Bloomfield's up 14-0. They should be going into the half 14-0 right about now. That was four critical coaching mistakes they made all in a row. One, they didn't rush the punter. He took his time. He delayed. He got a good punt off. Two, they didn't catch the punt. And then three, they threw two passes in the goal line, which really affected them. So that could be the difference in this game. Right now, you got Killingly kicking off, and he gets good distance, but it's more of a line drive. So Bloomfield should have an opportunity to return this.
If I were Killingly, I would kick it right to the 35-yard line, 25-yard line, right in that gap. I would not let the Kerrs get the hands on the football right now.
Yeah, you called it.
There's a squib, bounces off of Bloomfield, and they're going to fall on it at the 33-yard line. I was not going to kick that ball deep and let either of the Kerrs, do something here. I'm going to see Bloomfield with 1:05 remaining and no timeouts. If you want to try to go, 70 yards, 60 yards, that's fine. But I was not going to let the Curs touch the football.
The only thing with that is you gave them a free first down and a half. And in high school football, a first down is a timeout. So every first down, the clock stops. You only need about 28, 30 seconds to drive the field in high school football. So we'll see what Bloomfield has for a 2-minute offense.
What we do know is that they don't have a kicker that they like for extra points, so I don't think a field goal into the wind is on the table. So this is, touchdown or not with 1:05 remaining.
Yeah.
Foster out of the shotgun. Has time, steps up, throws, and it was almost intercepted. He had Feliciano on a go. He had Kerr and he read neither and threw it in the closest guy. He hit Potapsky in the hand, and he's incredibly fortunate that wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, that could have easily been a pick six. You better be careful. Kenley's in a prevent. They're dropping 8 and they're dropping them deep. So what you got to do here in Bloomfield, you got to throw a 10-plus yard pass. It's called a chunk, and the clock will stop. Or anything under 10 yards, you have to get out of bounds.
Rodriguez, and we're gonna get a flag. We're gonna get a false start that time. The snap didn't come. Foster started backpedaling out of the shotgun, and the snap didn't get there. So Bloomfield here, after playing a really almost flawless first quarter and 2/3, having some issues here trying to get to the half.
Yeah, I think they should go back to one of those bubble screens or a tunnel screen because Kinley is playing off and try to get close to the 50 before they start throwing the ball deep here. This ball's going to get picked.
2nd and 15. Foster, high snap, handles it well though. Faces the blitz, gets it outside, and out of bounds goes Rodriguez. He'll be short of the first down, so it'll bring up 3rd and looks like 5 or 6. Avoiding the pressure. Nice job by Foster.
Yeah, what you saw there was Bloomfield snuck the back out, and in a regular situation that would have been open, but they're in prevent, so they're not going to get fooled by that. Not in this situation.
So we got back the penalty plus 3 more. 3rd and 7 with the ball right on the 35-yard line for Bloomfield. Pressure again. Foster zips it out wide, and nice job forcing the receiver back inside. Killingly did a good job that time. Clock will run, and it's going to bring up 4th and short. And with 35 seconds remaining,
I don't know why
clock
Kinley,
ticking. Why isn't Killingly taking its last time out?
Yeah, I would definitely force this kid to punt. They just missed the block last time. He can't save it to the second half. You think he would use it here?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I would have thought after what we saw from that last punt, they would have forced the kid to put this ball in the air. Unless Bloomfield is going to go for it.
Yeah, they are.
And we're going to let it run down.
If they're smart, they'll snap it with 1 second. Let's see.
High snap, Foster to throw. Zips it out and overthrown as the clock strikes 000. We are at halftime. Interesting first half. Bloomfield on top of Killingly, 14-7. We'll come back after some fun halftime entertainment. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
I mean, I see it today, like the little kids wearing their jerseys to our games, and like just when we walk up the hills and walk down, they want the high fives. Like that was literally them at one point. So it's just weird to see like how the roles have switched and just how far I've come.
When did you first see him?
Youth basketball. I refereed basketball, and I had to do a Killing intermediate school game and saw him playing and saw his footwork and said, wow. You know what? He didn't come out right away his freshman year. It took a couple of weeks, and then we finally got him to come out, and he came out. And that year we played in the state championship against Weston, and he saw some time on the field, and that's when he bought in completely into the program.
Just the friends and family aspect, because like all my friends, I've been playing football with them since like I was like 5 at least. So, I mean, they wanted me out here badly. The upperclassmen even wanted me out here badly, so I had to get out here and at least try it out.
Even going back to 2015 and on up, we've had big, strong kids that can move. And each year they keep filtering through, and we've been seeing it in our younger classes right now. Some big kids that can move that, when we talk about the RPO stuff, that's them, running people over and having that attitude on the offensive line. They take a great deal of pride in that. They want to be able to run the ball no matter if you have 11 guys in the box or 9.
we have a lot of pride just for that, because it's we stress discipline and just doing your job and knowing what you need to do. So when we're able to do that, it's just, we want to keep it that way and just keep repeating every year, over and over.
Game Day is calling all fans, players, parents, coaches. We want your best plays. Send us a video on any of our social media platforms of any sport, practice, or game, and we will consider it for our plays of the week.
You hear Extra Julius, you think back right away to the 90s with Gene here on Friday nights and the Extra Juliuses, and one brother after another.
Killingley football for me and my family, it is very much ingrained. My father used to play as a running back for this team. My uncle, he used to play as a lineman for this team. My other uncle, he used to play as a running back.
They're both incredibly hardworking, disciplined kids, excellent students. They are like each other's best friends, but when something goes wrong, they really go at it. Last year we saw that a little bit. They were on the same side of the line, so this year we kind of split them up a little bit.
A lot last year when we were on the same side. We used to yell at each other, but in the end we always got the job done. Today, this year, Coach split us up, so it won't be happening often.
It's that brotherly instinct. You hear about it, but it's twin brothers. You see it even more with them. Everywhere they go, you see them at lunch together. They work together on the football field together. I definitely think you take a much more greater pride in everything. I think that's passed down generation to generation. Their Uncle Steve and then their father and so forth. They're at all the games. They tell them the stories, and I think it means even more to them that they play up to not only their level but even a better level.
Uncle Steve played on the '96 championship team.
Yep.
You're on the '21 championship team. If they play a game, who would win and why?
As good as our team is, I might have to say the 1996, because back then I know they were a lot more aggressive. Watching back their tapes, they were aggressive, they were big, they were mean. I don't think it would be a blowout though. I think it'd be a really good game. It'd be a tight one. I have to disagree. I think our team will win, hands down. We got more heart, we got more passion, we worked hard for it, and just looking back at the tapes, we got more info on them now.
The Day and Game Day will be a part of Connecticut high school volleyball history this fall. We're bringing high school volleyball to the Mohegan Sun Arena for the first time ever. Join us on Monday, October 10th for the Day Volleyball Invitational. At 4:30, three-time defending state champion Lyman Memorial plays 2021 Class M semifinalist Ledyard. Then at 6:30, defending Eastern Connecticut Conference Tournament champ East Lyme takes on Fitch in a rematch of last year's ECC semifinal. Get your tickets at theday.com/volleyball or the Mohegan Sun box office, or watch live on Game Day.
Then we will close our halftime show with Sway, made famous by Michael Bublé. This year's band is led by our outstanding band officers, Senior Jude Anderson, Senior Caleb Bockley, Junior Julie Carver, Senior Henrik Paul, and Junior Justin Wellman. The Killingley High School Big Red Marching Band is led by Band Director Jeffrey Ethier and Assistant Band Director Brittany Verone. They are joined by a fine staff of music educators, including color guard instructor Lisa Higgins and percussion instructor Jason Beat. The dancing portion of our show this evening was choreographed by Julie Carver. Now, please sit back and relax and enjoy Thriller by the Killingley High School Big Red Marching Band.
He's another in the long tradition of Killingly running backs. Handoff, Reef breaks a tackle in the open, and on cue, there goes Soren Reef, gets a great downfield block, touchdown, Killingly High School, Soren Reef, electric.
What a play. Those big boys in the front line right there.
Oh, look at onside kick, it's loose, and I think Killingly's going to fall on it.
Wow.
A little chicanery early
right
going.
on time.
Second down from the shotgun. Good snap. Wants to throw. Swarmed and sacked. So it's going to be 3rd and 17 as Brady O'Donnell shot that gap.
Right.
He can absolutely throw, and he's a college level size. And look at that ball right
wide
there.
Open.
To a wide open Jax. At the 30, 20. Touchdown, Killingly High School. Ben Jax. Next week I'll report back. Reef bounces to the outside, cuts it back. He's on the sideline. He's crossing the 40. It's a foot race. 30, 20, breaks another tackle. Touchdown, Soren Reef.
Well, the biggest thing about running against a power team is that you have to be physical.
Deep
as well.
ball, play action, man open.
Great catch.
Down to the 2-yard line, Colangelo.
And there it is.
Inside handoff, Perry. Perry breaks a tackle, pushes toward the end zone, waiting for the signal. Touchdown, Killingly High School. Keith Perry. Direct handoff.
Wildcat breaks it
Breaking
open.
to the outside. Jonathan Mercado showing some speed to the outside. He's going to get into Killingly territory. A UU to throw. 4th down. Zips it. Pass
Beautiful
complete.
throw.
Broken
He's
tackle.
still good
going.
to go.
Savion Jones. Touchdown.
Great effort.
Wildcats. Savion Jones with the score.
You don't know who's going to get what.
Play action. Drive holds to throw. Deep over the middle. Looking for Jax. In stride at the 30. Breaks a tackle at the 20. And a shocker at the end of the half.
What
touchdown.
A play.
Ben Jax on a perfectly thrown ball from Drive Holt. Drive holds to throw. Fade route. Quarter of the end zone to Jax. Touchdown. Killingly High School. Drive Holtz. Toss to Reef. Reef cuts it back in on the left hash. Bounces it. Drags his man to the end zone. Touchdown, Killingly. We are at halftime at Killingly High School. 14-7, Bloomfield on top of Killingly. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Casey O'Neill along with the coach, Jack Cochran. So, Coach, you know, you have a very long and storied career here in Connecticut as a coach. And you've coached a lot of great players, players who have gone on to play in college, players who have gone on to play in the pros. You've had players that have won Super Bowl rings, players that have played in the Pro Bowl. But this year's got to be a little special. One of your early guys, Dwight Freeney, heading to Canton, Hall of Fame, probable inductee into the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you know, it's surreal. I knew it was coming, and he's on the ballot, and he's going to be a unanimous choice, I believe, first ballot, and it says wonders for him, his family, everything he's done, the hard work he's put in, and the person he's become.
You know, he was an athlete, and I have a friend of his, a kid that you coached, a kid by the name of Marco Romero was on that team. He was a year ahead of Dwight. He was not a great football player. He was the first to admit he was a baseball kid, but he remembers you fondly, and he said that he was on Dwight Freeney's Little League team. Said Freeney was an outstanding center fielder, could hit the fastball, but struggled with the off-speed stuff. I guess he made the right choice to go to football, but he said he was an athlete, great soccer player, could do just anything.
It's a great story, you know. His dad was the baseball coach at Bloomfield. I was his athletic director, and Dwight was number one, a great, great baseball player. His dad did not want him to play football. He didn't play. We had to work the mother angle for 2 years, and Dwight was a soccer player. He was one of the best goalies in the league. The problem was he'd get 60 saves and we'd lose 12-0 in the league we're in with Wethersfield, Simsbury, Glastonbury. And then basketball, he was a phenomenal basketball player. His mother was a sprinter on the Jamaican Olympic team, and it just, I was very fortunate to get him to come out as a sophomore, and made a big mistake in my young career to play him as an inside linebacker. And when you get someone new to the game, that's not the position to play him at. There's just too much going on. Too many reads, too many things happening. So he was going to go back to soccer, and I was lucky. I was able to hire a man named Paul Duckworth, who was just released by the Green Bay Packers. He was an All-American at UConn, and I hired him, and he was a defensive end for Green Bay. And I said, hey, let's take Dwight for spring football. I'll talk him into doing spring football, and you teach him this DN spot that we learned. He had his Green Bay playbook. It was the Fritz Schirmer defensive end technique, and in 2 days, Dwight was transformed into an All-American defensive end. And I think he still leads the state of Connecticut in sacks. I think he still leads the Big East in sacks, college in sacks, and if he played a couple more years, I think he would have led the NFL in sacks. So it's just a hell of a story how he just played 2 years at the end and did what he did.
And you can still see his fingerprints on NFL linemen today. The way people pass rush the quarterback. Freeney's influence is still available. And sometimes talent is such that it can't be replicated. I could try all I want to play like Reggie White. I don't know that there's going to be another guy who can replicate that strength and power that White had or Warren Sapp. But some of the Freeney techniques of the spin and the outside, move, and some of the athleticism is still, you can see his fingerprints on linemen still today in the NFL.
Yeah, if you look back at the history of the NFL, Lawrence Taylor, he transformed the position in his era, and Dwight really transformed it when he went into the Colts. Took a big chance. They'd taken Dwight because Tony Dungy always ran that Tampa 2, and that wasn't Dwight. Dwight didn't drop in the coverage, so they changed their whole defense for Dwight's skills and his get-off and his speed. And you saw what it did for the Colts. It took them from that great team with Peyton Manning that couldn't get over the hump to a Super Bowl champion, all by what he did on defense. The number of strip sacks that he had in his career, and there's nobody close to that.
Well, he was part of your, some of the early great success you had, and of course Bloomfield being, a place where you cut your teeth before moving on to New Britain and New London and winning everywhere you went. Of course, when I think of your coaching, I think of Freeney, and I think of obviously the Reeds. I think of your son Casey, and I think of some of the players that you've coached. You mentioned Andrew Pinnock, who was working with Soren Reef. There's been a lot of great players. Connecticut, for such a small state, has put an awful lot of players into the NFL comparative, I think, to some of the other small states. But what is it about Connecticut that makes it a challenge for a Connecticut kid to, what makes it a challenge for a Connecticut kid to get to Division I, get the views necessary playing a schedule in Connecticut?
Connecticut is deep in high school football tradition. We're one of the only states that has Thanksgiving Day football. We're losing that, and for years, Connecticut just had tradition. Look back, I think it was 1993. The ECC had 3 state champions: New London, Stonington, and Ledger, and it was something that kids dreamed about. I remember growing up, going down to Vets Field and jumping the fence during the national anthem when the policemen turned their backs, and we died to get to those games. And it was just, it's tradition. Now I think Connecticut high school football has taken a big hit, a huge hit, and that we also, New England is home to some of the best prep school football programs in the country, and we're losing a lot of our players to the prep schools, and we're also losing the NFL players. You could look at the 49ers, Steve Young, Greenwich. You can go right down the list, a number of NFL players from every league, the ECC, the SEC. And I'm hoping we can find a way to get Connecticut back to where it once was. And I think the key is getting the CIAC to open up some of its stringent rules. our high school players can't train in football in any other sport in the off season. You go to a prep school, your coach can train you all year round. And it's just something that I think it's vital that we get together as a group, a think tank, and just figure out a way to bring it back. But you're right. I mean, I don't know our last NFL player in Connecticut who he is, other than maybe Jordan Reed and the D lineman from Windsor.
In prep school influence is something we're seeing in multiple sports. We're seeing it in basketball very much as well as football. Let's turn our attention here to the second half of this one. Bloomfield did everything right for a quarter and a half, and then really sort of, I don't want to say limped their way in, but really, kind of, punted the end of the half, literally and figuratively. They're going to get the ball here to start the second half. Killingly does what differently than they did in the first half?
Well, we'll see. Number one, you know a lot about a high school football coach based on their halftime adjustments. Having 8 guys go both ways, it's very, very difficult to make adjustments during the game. So in those 25 minutes, you'll see. Number one, I think they have to come out of that 32 front. Especially not every play, but on running situations. They got to get a little more beef in there because they're getting hurt inside the B gaps. And with the coverage, I wouldn't make one change. They're doing a great job keeping Bloomfield in front of them. They haven't gotten over the top, and they're getting the yardage on the screens. They just haven't beat them with it yet. I think this kickoff's going to be very important. Bloomfield's got 2 great athletes lined up at the 10, and we'll see if he squibs it again.
Line drive by Dreibholz, bounces at the 30, takes a hop off of Kurtz. Picks it up at the 24. So great result for Killingly. Exactly what they were trying to do there. Get that hard bounce. Kerr couldn't handle it cleanly, and you keep Bloomfield back at their own 25.
Yeah, we're going to see what adjustments were made on both sides of the ball here.
If I'm Bloomfield, I don't know that I'm going to do a lot differently offensively. I was moving the ball really well, except for when if it weren't for penalties and a bad punt, I wouldn't have any problems with how Bloomfield moved it. So we'll see if they do the same.
Yeah, Killingly took their inside backer and they're blitzing him off the corner, number 25. That's the first adjustment. Right into the run, it should.
Rodriguez gets a big hole on first down off the left side and rumbles forward for a gain of 10. So on the first play of the second half, Bloomfield picks up 10, moves the chains, ball out to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Killingly stunted right into that with their inside backer off the weak side edge. I think he just overran it.
Bloomfield going with a little up-tempo here. Handoff to Rodriguez again. That time he was hit in the backfield, and Perry came up to clean him up. Allen got a hand on him in the backfield. Perry cleaned it up. No gain. It'll be second and maybe even call it 9.5.
Yeah, did a great job. Allen did a nice crash. He stunted inside the tackle, and he blew it and made Rodriguez bounce into the outside backer who was right there to clean it up. Great job by the Killingly defense.
You mentioned the conditioning, and the 8 people going both ways. Bloomfield trying to put the pedal to the metal here, up tempo to start period 3. Little quick out it goes to Kerr. Breaks a tackle, stutter steps, break another tackle, and finally knocked out of bounds right shy of the stick. It is going to bring up 3rd and short. They're going to mark him back at the 42-yard line. So 42-yard line will make it 3rd and 3 for Bloomfield.
Critical mistake there by Kerr. He had the first down. You got to know where the sticks are. He went back 3 yards trying for a big play, and he lost the first. So
they're going to move it up a little bit more now. They're going to say it's at the 44-yard line, so it brings up 3rd and 1. This has been Rodriguez time.
Yeah.
We'll see if they go there.
It looks like they're bringing the defensive ends inside, so that's a pretty good adjustment here for this.
Foster hands to Rodriguez. Rodriguez slipped as he got the ball, and he's going to lose maybe half a yard. It'll bring up a 4th down and 1.5 yards. And now Bloomfield's in an interesting spot because their punter has not shown a lot of success, the sophomore quarterback Foster. They are punting with the wind. I think you're going to keep it here and go for it on 4th down.
That's why in 3rd and short, 4th and short, you want to see the quarterback on the center. Get the running back downhill. And
4th down, big play, handoff Rodriguez, and he has the first down as he stumbles forward to the 48-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Bloomfield.
That was a great read. That was a dive left, and Rodriguez had great vision, cut it all the way back, to the right side B gap, which was open. Kinley did not do a good job with backside cutback on that play.
So 1st and 10 Bloomfield, 9:45 remaining in the third period. They're on top 14-7 with the football as we open the second half of play. Foster from the shotgun, pulls it out, pressured, steps up, and he'll dive ahead for 2. He was brought down from behind by Darren Exar-Julius, and we have an injured Warhawk on the field. That's Rodriguez, the fullback who has had so much success here in the early going.
Yeah, that's a big loss. He got tackled low, below the waist, and looks like he's has a lower leg injury. That could be a big loss for Bloomfield.
While they attend to Rodriguez on the field, we're going to take a timeout, and this timeout's brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
Game Day is calling all fans, players, parents, coaches. We want your best plays. Send us a video on any of our social media platforms of any sport, practice, or game, and we will consider it for our plays of the week. Second and 9, a loss for Bloomfield as Edwin Rodriguez, the sophomore running back, heads to the sideline with a lower body injury, and that's going to put Davian Kerr, the electric wide receiver / running back who scored Bloomfield touchdown. He gets the toss left, cuts it back inside with a head of steam. We're going to get a flag. That's always in the area of holding, and as Kerr crossed the 50, the flag came down. So Killingly did a good job stopping him. It would be up third down, but the penalty is against Bloomfield. So it does change the dynamic for Bloomfield. They lose the inside running threat of Rodriguez. Of course, Kerr is an electric guy in the open field, but it definitely changes how they want to approach things. This penalty will back Bloomfield up all the way to the 37-yard line, and it's going to bring up a long down and distance for Bloomfield. It'll be 2nd and 22.
Yeah, that was a very costly mistake.
4 receivers, trips right, and now heading over is Foster. Shotgun, zips over the middle and had a man open, Davian Kerr, and if he hits him in stride, that might be 6.
Yeah, they ran a slant route to the boundary. They caught Kinley in a blitz, left man coverage, corner 8 yards deep and backpedaling. We should see them come back to that play. They've had it all night. Whatever side they're blitzing from, they're giving up the slant.
That's going to bring up 3rd and long, but a big opportunity that time for the Warhawks. So Foster will operate in that same formation. Now they send another wide receiver, so it's twins both sides, and Foster to throw. Deep ball, down the sideline into double coverage, and running it down and making the catch is Kerr. What a play! He threw it up, did Foster, and Kerr outran double coverage. Huge play for Bloomfield.
You know, you look at that play, Kinley 1 step back. They had soft cover 4, 2 deep defenders, 8 yards deep and backpedaling. That is inexcusable. Can't happen.
Kerr ran right by him. Davian Kerr, huge play, and it's 1st down Bloomfield on 3rd and 20. They pick up a huge chunk of yards, and they're now knocking on the door of Killingly.
Touchdown. Ooh, nice play.
Tripped up inside the 10. And Bloomfield's going to have it first and goal here, knocking on the door.
If you go back and look at your chart, Bloomfield's very successful running a simple bounce play to their left. They're hooking in the Kinley's right defensive end. Kinley's right defensive end is in a right-handed stance. What that means is he's stepping with his outside foot each play, and he's coming up the field, allowing him to get kicked out. He should have his left hand down and his left foot back.
Handoff goes again. Touchdown, Bloomfield. With 7:30 remaining here in the third period, a huge turn of events. Touchdown, Warhawks. 20-7, Bloomfield.
That's a big response. Bloomfield there took the opening kickoff, converted a big fourth down play. They lost their fullback. Nobody put their heads down. Next man up.
We do not have a 5 on our roster. My best guess is that could be Nazir Hightower, number 9, who's a senior running back, but I do not know for sure. But touchdown, Bloomfield. They're going to go for 2. Foster with a fade and going up.
Wow.
And bringing it down. 2-point conversion is good. What a play, Bloomfield. Howard Simpson went up and got it, 22-7.
Any young receivers, young quarterbacks out there watching this game, please look at what the quarterback and receiver did. When you run a fade route from the 3-yard line, you need 21 yards to work with. You cannot throw a fade. You'll be 10 yards out of the backfield. So you do what's called shake. That wide receiver stayed on the line of scrimmage, and he shook in place. Then he went. Allowed him to get the ball at the high point and keep it inside and make it a 12-yard throw. So you don't see that at the high school level. That's a college and NFL play, and I tip my hat to Coach Outlaw for teaching that technique. It's called a fade shake.
7 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the third period, and just when it looked like Killingly might have a stop and get the ball back, a touchdown for Bloomfield, and Killingly back down 2 scores. Matthew Miller will kick it off. And he hits a bullet. Jax will take it at the 15-yard line, and he'll head out up the middle of the field, break a tackle, and get it up close to the 35-yard line. And that's where Killingly will have its first offensive possession of the second half, trailing 22-7.
Okay, we're going to see what adjustments Killingly made at halftime. When they went to the 4 wide receiver set, Bloomfield kept 8 men in the box. They still keen on Reef, but they only played 4 cross off the ball man on the slots. The slots were wide open, so we'll see if he comes back to that spread offense.
That was a gut punch, that big third down reception by Davian Kerr. I formation, drive Holtz under center on first down. Straight drop. Out it goes to Jackson. Jax, stiff arm, breaks a tackle, heads down the sideline, crosses the 50, swim, gets a block, back to the 40, Jax, down to the 35-yard line. Big play, Ben Jax.
Great play by Jax, just ran a simple hitch. Bloomfield corner played off and gave it to him, and he did all the rest with his feet. Great effort. Give Jax a lot of credit. That was a strong, strong play.
Saw a little bit of everything there. Saw the swim, saw the shake, saw the broken tackle. So first down, Killingly, with 6:41 remaining here in the third period. They go to the line of scrimmage. Drive Holtz. Straight drop, looks to throw. Out into the flat it goes to Potapsky. Nothing there. He's going to gain maybe 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Good adjustments. Killingly went to a West Coast set. They go to split backs. They widen Reef and they riding Miller. They're going to be quick, eligible receivers out of the backfield. This is going to stress the Bloomfield defense. It's going to require them to cover 5 receivers.
Here we go. Drybolt's going to throw. Zips it out to Jax again. He makes the reception. Wrestled to the ground by Jaden Johnson. It'll be 3rd and short. Folks, the touchdown that was scored by number 5 of Bloomfield, we're going to attribute to DJ Lewin. He's listed as number 12 on our roster, but he is listed on another roster as number 5. So if it is DJ Lewin, congratulations. And if it's not, our apologies, as we do not have a 5 on our roster. 3rd and 2 for Killingly. Ball is marked at the 27-yard line. Power set. Reef has yet to touch the ball here on this drive. Drybolt's hard count. Toss left to Reef. Big hole. 1st down. Good low tackle made by Feliciano, but not until a 1st down by Reef. Chains move. Killingly on the move.
Yeah, that time Bloomfield had nobody in the C gap. Reef made the cutback. I just think he could have made one more cut there and scored. I think this Bloomfield defense is getting him a little bit shy out there. He showed for the first time that he came to a stop.
So there's a timeout on the field, and with that, we'll take a timeout from the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better at Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better at Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
1st down, Killingly, trailing 22-7 with 4:56 remaining in the 3rd period. Drybolt's operates I formation. Quick slant through the hands of Jax. He was defended by Davian Kerr, and Davion Kerr was there. The pass was a little bit too crisp.
I'd like to see that same play run to the wide side of the field. He's trying to run a double slant with 17 yards of field to work with. There's just too many guys to the inside there, linebacker. That's almost an impossible play to hit. That play should go to the wide side of the field.
2nd down and 10. I formation. Drybolt's under center. Now Reef goes in motion. Drybolt's going to throw. Pressured. Ball's loose. Ball's loose.
Bloomfield's got it.
Bloomfield thinks they're on it, and they are. Pressure sent. Drybolt sacked, and a big play by the Bloomfield defense.
Okay, if you can rewind that, this is a good example of turn back protection versus man protection. Killingly is a man-on-man, big-on-big protection, which means their ends take the tackles take the ends, the guard takes the tackles, and they make the center take both A-gap blitzes with the running back picking up the second. Bloomfield sent a double A-gap blitz. There was no one to pick up that second backer. Once he did play action to the fullback, the quarterback was a sitting duck.
4:40 remaining here in the 3rd period. Bloomfield with a big defensive play, turnover. They've got it on 1st down. Handoff to Lewin, and he'll gain 1 yard. It'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, great adjustment there by Killingly. They got the end to close. Stuffed the trap. Puts up a 2nd and long.
Ball on the 26-yard line for Bloomfield, and this is in many ways a must stop for Killingly. Down 2 scores for a team that doesn't like to throw the ball all over the yard. They need a hold here and get this football back.
Yeah. Bloomfield smart here. They're running some clock. That official in the back will put his hand up when there's 5 seconds. Give the quarterback a good time.
Toss left. Good hole. 6 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and 4 as the carry that time again with Lewin, and he'll get up to the 30, we'll call it the 7-yard line.
Again, Kinley's playing 2 defensive tackles as DN, so they are getting reach. They just don't have the speed, the change of direction to string these sweeps out. They're putting a lot of pressure on the outside linebackers to come up and make a great tackle in open space. So I love to see them, Kinley, put a couple athletes at the DN position to help contain this Bloomfield speed on the toss.
Anthony Oates into the ball game as Peterson limped off. O'Donnell limped off, Brady O'Donnell. And so Oates into the ball game on 3rd and 4. Foster. Handoff. First down crossing the 35-yard line. Ball's on the turf, but the officials are whistling it. And Killingly's going to have the football. That was a strange play. Kerr put it on the turf, and Bloomfield kind of stood around. Killingly recovered, and with 3:07, it's a big turnover. Now each defense has made a big play.
Yeah, sudden change. Big play. It gets Killingly back in the game. Let's see how the defense responds.
So Killingly will have it 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of Bloomfield. I formation. Drybolt's under center. Gonna pass, pressured, fade to Jax, and it's caught by Jax in between defenders. Touchdown, Killingly High School. Drybolt withstood the pressure, took the hit, put it out, and Jax caught it between defenders, and just like that, Killingly right back in. It's 22-13.
Yeah, great call, great route, great play. Bloomfield safety did not go for the tackle, went for the pick. One thing you got to teach your defensive backs, if you go for the ball, you better get it. If not, if there's any doubt, secure the tackle, put him on the 20-yard line.
So Drybolts will be in for the extra point. Hold is down, kick is up, kick is long, and it is good. And with 2:57 remaining in the 3rd period, Killingly down a score. It's 22-14.
Yeah, great response. Coach Neal, great call. You get a turnover first play. Bloomfield's got their heads down. You go on the attack, you go over the top, and now you're back in the game down 8. Great call, Killingly.
When that ball, when Drybolts did his 3-step drop, I thought he was going to get sacked. He was getting that weak side pressure. He got it off just in time, and then I thought it was going to be intercepted because it was kind of laid up in between the 2 defenders. But Jax was the only man that got there. And then, of course, once he gets his hands on the football, he knows what to do. And he got in for the touchdown. And now Killingly will kick it off. Drybolts from his 40-yard line.
Yeah, this is a great response. You're seeing the other Killingly players step up. Reef is really non-existent right now. And you're seeing other players pick up the slack. I think Bloomfield got to be ready for that second-tier squib between the 30 and the 15. They almost recovered the ball last time.
Drybolts will kick it off from his own 40. And another line drive kick, bounced and handled by Feliciano at the 15-yard line. Feliciano straight up the field, breaks a tackle. He's got speed and brought from ball loose, and Bloomfield. It bounced right back up into the Bloomfield hands, and they will retain possession.
Yeah, they're getting hiccups right now. That's 2 turnovers in 2 plays, so you never know how that ball is going to bounce. Bloomfield, let's see how they react. They're up 8, 2:43 in the 3rd quarter. They need to regroup and just get a sustained drive here.
That ball hit the turf, and what a turn of events it would have been if Killingly had recovered it, but that ball bounced straight up into a Bloomfield player, Jaden Johnson, and as Darian Foster, the sophomore quarterback, comes back on the field in front of a hostile, very angry crowd right now. Killingly is not used to being down. This crowd is energetic. They are full of life, and they're going to make it loud. The sophomore has played brilliantly tonight. First down, Warhawks. Foster to throw. Has pressure deep down the field, and he overthrows Feliciano, who was covered well by Jax. He was pressured off the edge by Brady O'Donnell, and that time he put a lot of air under it with the wind, and the ball sailed.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time they run this play to the slot. They're trying to run a slot goal, but the safety's just sitting on it 14 yards deep. You know, I wish they'd cross this play off of the call sheet and go to something else because it's just not going to work.
2:34 remaining in the third period, 22-14. Bloomfield on top with the ball. It's 2nd and 10. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Casey O'Neill and the coach, Jack Cochran. And we've got, as advertised, a competitive game between two of the state's finest, Bloomfield and Killingly. Foster shuttles it out left to Lewin. Lewin is wrapped up from behind, and he's down at the 45-yard line. So big 3rd down and 6 coming up for Bloomfield.
Bloomfield had a tight trips bunch. They had the corner secured. Bloomfield, instead of running the toss, they did a speed option, just really slowed the play down. 3rd and 7. This is going to be a key play for the Bloomfield offense. They do not want to punt here, given Killingly starting to get all the momentum.
We've seen a lot of screens out of this down and distance. And there's one out in the flat. It goes, and a great job running to the football. First person there was Peterson, and there's a flag on the play. It's bringing up 4th down and 5, but there is a flag on the middle of the field. They're picking the flag up. So the flag has been picked up, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 6. Ball is going to be, make it 4th and 4. Ball is going to be at the 47-yard line. What an interesting down and distance here for Bloomfield. Their only punt of the game was disastrous.
Yeah, they're going for it. It's a
very,
very gutsy call here.
With 1:33 and counting remaining here in the third period.
You got to think he's going to try to get the ball in number 3 hands here. They do have a blitz coming from the boundary.
Foster, dropped, pressured, rolls, heading for the marker. Now he throws, and it's intercepted. Intercepted.
Big mistake. Killingly should have knocked that ball down. He just lost 25 yards of field position.
Peterson
Do not
with the
intercept
interception.
the ball.
Peterson with the interception, but you're right, Coach. It's 4th down. You knock it down, and you have the ball in Bloomfield territory. Instead, it acts as sort of a mini punt and puts Killingly back in their territory at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, that's one of those situations. Don't happen a lot, but it's one you have to find a way to practice during the week. And it's just split-second discipline. You can't knock the kid. He made a hell of a play. He made a pick, and he will learn from it. I guarantee you he'll never do that again.
Drybolt's under center, Killingly from the eye. Dive to Perry. Good hole and a nice tackle made on the interior of the line after Perry had a couple of yards.
Yeah, Perry had all green grass in front of him, got a shoestring tackle. Great play by Bloomfield. He drives his knees through that. He's still running.
5-yard gain, 2nd and 5. We're under a minute remaining here in the third period.
Great adjustment. Bloomfield's putting number 7 on jacks.
Handoff to Reef, and nothing there. Sub-tackle that time by Kerr. And that's the one downside. You said, Kerr has been spying Reef. He's such a good tackler.
Yeah.
He read that play and got to Reef almost immediately.
Yeah,
Third down.
I've never seen Reef like this. He's running very tentative. I hope he's okay.
39-yard line.
3rd and 4. Ball at the 39-yard line. Killingly from the eye. 15 seconds remaining here in period number 3. Drybolt's to throw, zips it out to Colangelo, and Colangelo, depending on the spot, is right at the stick. He's going to be a yard short, and with 5 seconds remaining, Killingly's going to have a decision. Into the wind, they may punt this one. They may go for this one. I'm not sure they're going to punt it away.
That's a vital mistake by the Killingly offense. You have to know where the sticks are. Coaches should be yelling sticks, practicing sticks. You always run your route 2 yards past the first down marker. Let's hope this doesn't come back to bite them.
4th and a foot. With a guy the size of Drybolt, you got to wonder if this is a quarterback sneak.
I think he's going to the fullback.
Drybolts, hands to the fullback.
He didn't get it.
And I don't think he got it. And no, he did not. Bloomfield held, and it'll be Warhawks ball in great position inside Killingly territory.
That's a case of fool me once, not fool me twice. They hit that play on an earlier 4th down in the first half. This time Bloomfield was ready for it. Casey, you are 100% right. 6'3", 220-pound quarterback. Just stretch the ball over, get the first down, and be done with it. That could be a key play there.
So we are heading to the fourth quarter, 22-14. Bloomfield on top with the ball. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You can purchase a digital download of tonight's game or any of our live broadcasts
at Vimeo On Demand. For details, head to vimeo.com/ondemand/GameDayCT. Game Day opens the high school basketball season back at the Mohegan Sun with the second annual Day Holiday Classic. We'll bring you 3 games on Monday, December 19th. First, a rematch of last year's Division I championship game between East Catholic and Notre Dame of West Haven. Next, a rematch of last year's Division III semifinal as St. Bernard takes on Daniel Hand. And finally, ECC rivals New London and NFA see if they can. First down, Bloomfield in Killingly territory. Foster to throw. Pressured. Deep ball. And it's intercepted again. Intercepted. Second interception for Braden Peterson. But if there's an upside, it acts as a tremendous punt because the ball will be all the way inside the 10-yard line where Killingly will have it. Now, we had a penalty against Bloomfield. It'll be declined, and Killingly will have the football inside the 10.
Yeah, they keep going back to that same play. They're trying to run a smash concept. The number 1 receiver runs a stop hitch. Inside receivers running a 15-yard to 30 corner route, and the safety and corner just sitting on it, giving up the short route. The young quarterback just keeps throwing in the coverage. Hopefully he learns pretty quick.
So first down, Killingly. Ball inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Down 8, 11:50 remaining here in the ballgame. Reef, nothing there. What a great job of tackling we are seeing out of the Warhawks defense.
Yeah, they're bouncing it up. I think right now you're going to see the matchup that's going to turn in this, make a difference in this game. You got Bloomfield, number 7 corner, Matthew Miller. He's playing man-to-man on Mr. Ben Jacks. I think if he can stop Ben down, Killingly now has to go to their third option.
We have a timeout on the field. We're going to keep it here. Of course, we want you to stay tuned after the game and go search us out on social media at Game Day CT because we're going to have our interview with the Foxwoods player of the game. And even though fall's upon us, summer is always there at Foxwoods. Check out the great entertainment that they have at Foxwoods at foxwoods.com. Foxwoods Resort Casino, the wonder of it all. So, second down, it's been a great job. That time the tackle was made by Davion Kerr. The Kerrs have been something, whether it's Davion who's shadowing Soren Reef or Davion. The 2 Kerrs have been great tacklers. And we said in the beginning, Coach, you said tackling Reef was going to be the key.
This set gets Jacks wide open on the safety. Let's hope they see it.
Play action. Dry Pulse throws instead to the flat, and it's caught.
Yep, he saw it. Good call, Coach.
Caught by Jacks. He'll be shy of the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and a yard.
That official needs to get some help. They should come together. That ball hit the ground. That was not a completion. I would like to see these guys get together in a bunch and get this call right.
I can barely see numbers. Coach is able to see balls hit the ground. That's why they call him Eagle Eye Cochran. That's not, and they call me Blind O'Neill. 3rd and 2, I formation.
Again, nobody's on Jacks. Should just snap the ball and hit him off the ball.
Dry Pulse.
Good call, Coach.
Slant. Jacks. First down. Moves the chains. Crosses the 20 to 23. You know, sometimes when I watch football on CBS and Tony Romo has this talent where he calls the play in such a matter-of-fact way because I always thought it was because he knew the Cowboys playbook. But, Coach, you know, I love how you know off the formations what is going to be available. But I like to see Dry Pulse recognize it and make the throw. So Killingly's got a good design, and I like seeing the execution from the kids.
Yeah, Bloomfield made a decision. They're going to keep 8 in the box to stop Reef. However, when you go to a twin set, they should be going corners over. Yep, they made the adjustment. 7 came to the inside. He's going to stay on Jacks. Good adjustment by Bloomfield. And
toss to Reef.
This could go bad.
Bounces it outside. Now puts his head down, moves forward, gets the first down. Best run of Soren Reef's day for quite a while. He crosses the 40. Interesting. I thought he had a chance to cut it back inside off the block, but he chose to bounce it outside.
He did.
Maybe gave up some yards.
Yeah, I think I don't think Reef's ever been hit like this in his career, and I think it's playing a little toll on him.
He put his head down and got a couple extra at the end. Chains move. Ball now at the 40-yard line. Of note, if Killingly scores, they will need to go for 2. They have elected not to up till this point. Bloomfield has 22-14 Warhawks. Drive holds, Toff left to Reef, cuts it back up the middle, big hole, breaks a tackle, Soren Reef's in the open, Soren Reef crosses the 40, Soren Reef's looking for a block, Soren Reef still on his feet, cuts it back inside, and he's down at the 10-yard line. First and goal, Killingly, Soren Reef with his biggest run of the day.
That was a great run by Reef. It was a sweep. He saw the cutback lane and he took it, put his foot in the ground, made a speed cut, and it was a hell of a play. They got Bloomfield right now winded. They should go fast here, hopefully. Snap the ball. They got them all discombobulated. No one's covering the 2 wide receivers.
Matthew Miller saved the touchdown.
If he snaps the ball, he got a touchdown.
Drive holds, toss to Reef, cuts it outside, heading towards the end zone, and a great tackle made on the edge by Howard Simpson. And that'll be down at the 8-yard line. It'll be second and goal. Miller, who saved the touchdown, was running with Reef, and that's a big play. Let's not lose sight of the fact that Miller never quit on the play downfield for Bloomfield and kept Reef out of the end zone.
Yeah, nobody covered the Colangelo on that. Corner was late getting over. Let's hope they pick that up in the press box.
So second and goal, ball is at the 8-yard line.
They better hurry, they're going to get a delayed game.
Drive holds under center, they're going to operate out of the I. Jax is in the slot. Colangelo wide right. Handoff Reef straight up the middle, and he's going to waltz to the 2 where he's tackled. I thought he was heading into the end zone, but a well-done job. Travis Murray got there, got his legs, and kept him out of the end zone. It's going to be third and goal, and I thought that hole was much bigger than it was. They have him down at the 5.
Yeah, great job by Bloomfield, and the cutback made a great one-on-one tackle. It was just him and Reef, and I'd give the ball to Reef again here. He's carried you for 2 years. Let's let him get it in the end zone.
Tough to keep great players down. Another handoff to Reef, stiff arm, and a great job by Bloomfield. And I'm going to be critical of Reef that time, not of the effort, but of the vision. I think he had a cutback toward the end zone wide open. Bloomfield pursued hard to the outside and got him.
Yeah, Soren, he predetermined that bounce play. He didn't need it. Always run the ball inside out. Okay, I know it's a power play. I know it's designed to go off tackle. I think he's going to go to Jax here.
Jax will be covered by Miller, their best coverage guy. Look for the fade on 4th down.
Got
Roll.
him again.
Drive holds, has his guy, and he's got it. Touchdown, Noah Colangelo. Colangelo with the touchdown. Great vision by Drive holds, and Killingly is a 2-point conversion away from tying the ball game. 7 minutes remaining in the game.
Great call. They had the fullback covered. He went to his secondary target. Great patience. Great play. Now we're going to see their 2-point play. This is something you work on all week in practice. It's not something you got to think about. It's your best 2-point play. I would go play action. Reef is having he's having a lot of trouble getting yardage. So Bloomfield has been beat by play action all game, but I wouldn't fault him giving the ball to Soren again.
I do like drive holds on that boot. They've had multiple success with it. Multiple touchdowns have come off of it. 2-point conversion. Drive holds. Zips, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Jax on the slant. Well covered, and with 7 minutes remaining, it's 22-20 Bloomfield. Killingly's going to need a stop, and they're going to need to get the ball back. Drive holds might be looking at a game-winning field goal attempt. And there's multiple Bloomfield players on the ground. While we attend to the Bloomfield players, we'll send it away for a moment. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. The Day and Game Day will be a part of Connecticut high school volleyball history this fall. We're bringing high school volleyball to the Mohegan Sun Arena for the first time ever. Join us on Monday, October 10th for the Day Volleyball Invitational. At 4:30, 3-time defending state champion Lyman Memorial plays 2021 Class M semifinalist Ledyard. Then at 6:30, defending Eastern Connecticut Conference Tournament champ East Lyme takes on Fitch in a rematch of last year's ECC semifinal. Get your tickets at theday.com/volleyball or the Mohegan Sun box office, or watch live on game day. Game Day opens the high school basketball season back at the Mohegan Sun with the second annual Day Holiday Classic. We'll bring you 3 games on Monday, December 19th. First, a rematch of last year's Division I championship game between East Catholic and Notre Dame of West Haven. Next, a rematch of last year's Division III semifinal as St. Bernard takes on Daniel Hand. And finally, ECC rivals New London and NFA see if they can top last season's buzzer-beating drama. It's the Day Holiday Classic, Monday, December 19th at Mohegan Sun Arena, and streaming live on Game Day. Game Day is calling all fans, players, parents, coaches. We want your best plays. Send us a video on any of our social media platforms of any sport, practice, or game, and we will consider it for our plays of the week.
See where it's at.
Killingly is about to kick off. 22-20 they trail. Bloomfield.
See it's on the tee.
Coach is pointing out a onside kick possibility here from Drive Holtz. We'll talk about the injured Bloomfield Warhawks here after the kickoff.
They're not ready for it either.
Drive Holtz now sends his folks left and right.
Looks like it's tilted to the sideline.
Bloomfield's up tight, though. They think they see something. And we get a whistle.
They need a second guy.
Ball fell off the tee, so they'll reset it. On the previous play, the 2-point conversion that fell incomplete, number 7, Matthew Miller of Bloomfield, was down for a little while, and he is their number 1 corner guy. They're going to move it up to the 45-yard line. Bloomfield now has to get itself reset as Drive Holtz will kick it off from the 45. Drive Holtz approaches, hits that line drive, it squibs. That time Feliciano picks it up nicely, heads up straight up the middle of the field, bounces off a tackle. He's got speed and he's dangerous as he gets up close to the 40-yard line, where Drive Holtz, the kicker, finally gets him down. But Bloomfield in good position. 6:50 remaining here in the ballgame, a 2-point lead, and Killingly's going to need a stop here if they want to get themselves an opportunity to win this thing in regulation.
Yeah, Killingly has plenty of time. They have 3 timeouts. Ball's on the 40-yard line. That's one thing when you squib it and they field it cleanly, you kind of outkick your coverage. So you got a good return and you got about 2 extra first downs there.
Yeah, that time the ball stayed along the ground like a ground ball, and to his credit, Feliciano went down like a shortstop and fielded it like a ground ball and did a nice job with the return. Foster will operate under center. Handoff. Bouncing it is Lewin, and he's got 9 yards on first down. That's a big gain for Bloomfield.
So what you saw again there, the Killingly defensive end, and you young players out there, if you're on the right-hand side, you got to get in the left-hand stance. You step up the field with your right foot, you're going to get kicked out, and the ball came right underneath.
6:30 remaining here in the ball game. 22-20, Bloomfield with the football, 2nd and 1. From the shotgun, Foster, high snap, gives it to Lewin, and he is hit in the backfield by multiple Killingly football players, leading the way, Patapsky and O'Donnell, and that's going to back it up. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
Okay, you see the difference there. First down, they were under center. They got a clean snap, a clean handoff, running back downhill, first down. 2nd down and 2, you saw a high snap, slowed the play down, and now the running back's hitting the backfield. This is a game of inches.
3rd and a long 4. This time they'll have Kerr in the backfield.
This looks like their sweep set to the bunch.
Yep, Damian Kerr.
Killingly's going to have to come up the field. Oh, unbalanced. They just shifted on the balance. They
toss right. Davian Kerr cuts it back inside, and he will have the first down as he crosses midfield. Big run by the man, Davian Kerr. He has shown himself to be the best player for Bloomfield all night long, and he got them a first down on 3rd and 4.
So Bloomfield now, if they're smart, they should go into their 4-minute offense. Each play with the time should eat up about 48 seconds. Quarterback should take his key off the back official, who puts his hand up and notifies him he has 5 seconds. So they shouldn't rush here. They can get the ball down, get this clock down on 3 running plays under 2 minutes.
First down right at midfield, 4:45 remaining in the ball game. Foster, shotgun, zips it low and caught inbounds after a gain of 3 by Davion Kerr, and clock will run. So actually probably a good result for Bloomfield that time, that he stayed in bounds and the clock runs.
Yeah, very, very fortunate. That was a low pass down at his feet. He made a heck of a catch. Didn't gain a lot, but the key is he's keeping the clock running. I just wish they'd take a little bit more time in between the plays. They're leaving about 18 seconds on the clock when they snap it.
Foster from the shotgun on 2nd and 6. Snap is good. Handoff. Lewin, and he's going to lose yardage. Is back to almost the original line of scrimmage. Jack's got in there as well as Alexis Ruiz-Ortiz, and that's going to bring it back to 3rd and long. It's going to call it 3rd and 9. 3:50 remaining here in the ball game. And this will be interesting. Does Bloomfield look at it like 4-down territory? They haven't punted and throw it on 3rd down, or they keep it on the ground. They keep it on the ground, you're going to see a Killingly timeout.
Yeah, for sure. Killingly stunted right into that, and the V-gap made a heck of a play. You got trips to the field. Let's see what number 3 is.
Foster from the shotgun, going to throw. He's pressured, steps up, ball's loose, Killingly recovers the football. Killingly recovers the football in Bloomfield territory at the 45-yard line.
What you saw there was you saw a sophomore mistake. He didn't put the ball away. He held it out.
Terrence Allen, featured this week on Game Day, came up through the Killingly system, watching the Killingly players, always dreaming of being on the field, has been on the field for some of their great wins. He recovers the fumble. Ball is marked at the 44-yard line of Bloomfield with 3:15 remaining. Yes, they want a touchdown, but with the wind, they are about 15 yards from being in Dreibholz's range for a winning field goal.
Yeah, you saw a huge mistake by the quarterback in that situation. Tuck the ball. Don't leave the ball out to get tipped and knocked out. We'll see how Bloomfield responds here. They're playing off of Jacks. Again, they should go right to Jacks.
Toss to Reef. He's looking to throw. He has a man. Throws it, and it's over the head of Colangelo, but Jacks was wide open in the center of the field. A little trickery on behalf of Killingly, and it goes incomplete.
2 things there. It was a good call. Jacks was open, but Soren Reeves have to sell that run. When Soren runs a sweep, he gets downhill. He's got to show the same thing for the first 5 steps, and it would have been an easy touchdown. Soren floated and gave the play away and let the Bloomfield D-backs read it.
3:07 remaining in the ball game.
Again, you got nobody on Jacks in the slot. This should be an easy 10, 15-yard gain, if not more.
I formation, Dreibholz, Toffles, Reef. Reef bounces it outside and brought down after a gain of 3. It's going to be 3rd and 7, and they are not yet in field goal range, so this is 2 downs to get 7 yards.
Tour sweep, they're keying on Reef. They got it contained. I still think the play here is to Jacks in the slot. Safety's playing 12, 14 yards off him with no help.
3rd and 7, I formation. Biggest play of the night so far on 3rd down. Dreibholz, play action.
He's got him.
Deep over, he's got Colangelo. Touchdown! Touchdown, Killingly! Noah Colangelo beat Jose Feliciano, and with 2:19 remaining, Killingly on top for the first time in the ball game, 26-22.
Great call there. Play action, made a double move. That was called a sluggo. He faked the slant and go, and number 1 was peeking in the backfield. He saw a run, never saw Colangelo get behind him. Great route, great ball, great catch.
There is absolutely no reason for an extra point here. You got to go for 2. You're up 4, so you got to go for 2, and we're going to get a timeout Killingly because they know that they have to go for 2. Extra point does you no good, puts you up 5. Either way, Bloomfield needs to score a touchdown. So if you make it 6, then you force them to go and get their own 2-point conversion because they have shown no indication that they're going to kick an extra point. So this is actually a very important 2-point conversion here for Killingly because it does give them a little bit of relief. They can't lose on a touchdown in regulation. 2:19 remaining in the ball game. I think Killingly scored a little quicker than they thought they would.
Yeah, I don't know why they lined up there and go for 1, and I also don't know why Killingly just burned a timeout. I didn't.
So part of the reason why they lined up to go for 1, Coach, is that the kicker is the quarterback, the holder is the fullback, and the snapper is the wide receiver. They're all on the field during the touchdown. I think by habit they rush over to go for 1. You got to find a way to get somebody on, get your 2-point package onto the field. And when they couldn't, that's why whether they call it timeout or not is up for grabs. But
Yeah.
I think that's why I think out of habit, it's harder probably for them to to go into a 2-point mentality when they usually kick the extra point. Drive hold to go under center. In the motion, Jacks. Left to Perry. Perry's going to waltz into the end zone. 2-point conversion, good. 28-22 Killingly with 2:19 remaining in the ball game. Quite a turn of events. Warhawks are reeling. Killingly has momentum, a home crowd, and a 6-point lead.
Good call there. They motioned to trips, faked a jet sweep, and ran a play called flip. And they had 44 in the backfield, which I think helped.
2:19 remaining in the ball game. Plenty of time, especially in high school football, to go down the length of the field. You got to think that Killingly will do the line drive kick that they've been doing all night with drive holds. Back deep for Bloomfield, Zakai Kimber and Jose Feliciano.
Yeah, I like to see these 2 tailbacks get off the 10. The ball's been hitting on the 35. They could come up 10, 15 yards closer and get a much better return. We're going to see right now Darian Forster, what this young quarterback's all about. This is what quarterbacks dream of. 2:19 on the clock, 2 timeouts, down by 6.
Drive holds, line drive kick, bounces, and a good big bounce to Feliciano, crosses the 20. Feliciano held up and tripped up at the 25-yard line, close to the 30. We talked about this Killingly team. Could they come back from down multiple scores? Well, they did it through the air. Drive holds with multiple touchdown passes. He's found Perry. He's found Colangelo. Jax has been a part of things. Through the air, Killingly has gotten back not only into the game, but ahead. 6-point lead with 2:11 remaining in the ballgame.
Very interesting here. Is Killingly going to sit back and play prevent? See if they can march down the field, keep everything in front of them, or are they going to blitz and take some chances?
I think the answer is that you're going to see some pressure here on these first couple of downs from Killingly.
I definitely would. You can see it already. They're bringing 6.
They sense it. They sense the momentum. Here comes the Killingly pressure.
He's got
Foster
him.
steps up, has him in, and it's
That's interference.
Incomplete. We're
That's
waiting on the flag. The official's just trying to grab it.
That was 100% defensive interference.
And we get a flag, and I think that flag's going to go on the Bloomfield bench. I think we're going to see a flag on the Bloomfield bench after no flag on the contested pass. Bloomfield wants the penalty for pass interference. Instead, they're going to get, I believe, a penalty on the bench.
That was textbook defensive PI. He face guarded him all the way down the field, didn't give him a chance to come back for the ball. The ball was playable. 1, 2, 3 officials missed that call.
So it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on Bloomfield, which is a big penalty because it's going to back them up 15 yards on top of where they were, and it's going to bring up 2nd and very long So they'll be back inside the 20. Ball's going to be at the 18-yard line with 2:02 remaining here in the game.
Yeah, you never want to see a game end like this. I would like to see the officials come together and get that call right.
Foster to throw, pressure off the edge, zips it out and overthrows Kerr, and he was hit hard on the play. And there's a flag on the play. I think we're going to get a late hit, roughing the passer, which is going to bring the ball back to where it was originally.
100%. 79 got a little enthusiastic there and just can't hit the quarterback when he's in that situation.
So roughing the passer against Killingly will put the ball back to the line of scrimmage, which it was originally, which is the 28-yard line. So after all that, we'll be back to 2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line. Keep going forward, and so it's going to be 2nd and 6 after they mark it off. 1:56 remaining here in the ball game. So it'll be 2nd and 6. Now they're backing it up, automatic first down. I got to admit, I get very confused on the high school rules.
They got
First and 10.
Killingly has their corner with no help. I'm very surprised.
Handoff, and Killingly there to stop it. Not much there. Perry.
Okay, don't need to panic. You got plenty of time. You got 2 timeouts.
1:43 remaining here in the ball game. Bloomfield will have it 2nd and 8. So the roughing the passer got them the first down. They were 1st and 10. Now it's 2nd and 8.
If you look at the wide receiver up top, he's getting a 10-yard cushion with no underneath help. He should just throw a quick hitch out there and be done with it.
Crowd is stomping. They are loud. They are sensing Killingly in position. Foster to throw. Zips it. Sideline route. Over the top, and it's incomplete. He had his man falling to the ground and couldn't hold on to it. An exceptional effort, but he couldn't bring it in. And it'll be 3rd and long. Davian Kerr, it hit him as he was falling to the ground. I bet you he catches that ball 7 out of 10 times.
Yeah, that was a great ball. Great ball. He got behind a corner in prevent who was playing about 10, 12 yards off. You don't see that too often. I wish Killingly would get a safety over the top of that.
That's how they beat him on that long 3rd down play. They just outrun the double coverage.
They made the change.
3rd and 8, 1:10 remaining.
Looks like they're bringing Reef off the corner.
He blitzed. Ball thrown low.
No, it hit the slot in the helmet, number 8.
Feliciano was the intended target. It's going to be 4th and 8, 1:04 remaining in the ball game. Big crowd on hand. They're excited. They're pounding the bleachers. 4th and 8, Bloomfield.
Well, you got to go to Devion here. Devion Kerr, number 3. He's split out to the right. He's got to get to the sticks. It's got to be at least a 9-yard route, all receivers. Looks like they're going to bring 4.
Foster, no pressure. Now he's pressured. Steps up, zips it down the field, and it's incomplete. Overthrown. He was pressured. Pressure came from Brady O'Donnell. Foster overthrew Simpson, and with 56 seconds remaining in the ballgame, Killingly will take over on downs with a 6-point lead, and the crowd feels the victory, which I would say is improbable off of what we saw in the first half. It has been a turnaround for Killingly. Bloomfield facing its first loss of the season.
Yep, you got 56 seconds, 2 timeouts.
You're going to give it to Reef 3 times and punt it if you have to, but 56 seconds remaining, and they're going to go into the victory formation and take a knee. So Drybolts takes the knee with 53
I don't know why
seconds.
they're not calling timeout.
There's a timeout taken by Bloomfield.
Bloomfield just lost 6 seconds. They put no pressure on the quarterback, so he didn't have to kneel it right away. If they bring pressure here and tag the quarterback, they can get the ball back.
As always, game day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Right now, smiles are all over Killingly's sideline and in the stands, and you know what? When you're smiling, all of the things are good begin. Go visit waterforddentalhealth.com and find an energetic and wonderful staff who will take personalized and gentle care. All that you deserve at waterforddentalhealth.com. After the game, of course, you got to find us on social media at Game Day CT for our interview with the Foxwoods player of the game. Summer is never over at Foxwoods. It may be fall outside, but it's summer at Foxwoods Resort Casino. The wonder of it all, foxwoods.com. So victory formation on, they'll take another knee, they'll get another timeout. They'll take another knee on third down. How long can that one go till? Then they'll take the penalty and punt it away, and if they even have to.
Yeah, Bloomfield needs to pressure, make him kneel right away.
I like the heads-up play. Drybolts took 3 steps back last time. He'll do it again.
Yeah, he's smart.
That time he got back to the 45-yard line. And Bloomfield will take its final timeout with 42 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they just lost 3 more seconds. Kinley's lucky they got an alumni here on the clock.
42 seconds remaining. 28-22. Killingly on top. You know, talking about our Foxwoods player of the game, you know, it's one of those nights where Killingly has done something that they have not had to do very often. Come from behind and do it through the air. If that's any indication of who the Foxwoods player of the game might be. 42 seconds remaining. Killingly. Now next week doesn't get any easier for Bloomfield. They got to play Berlin, who was in a dogfight with Fitch tonight.
Yeah.
And Killingly will go at Griswold and take on Griswold. We'll see if we can get that Fitch-Berlin score for you.
Yeah, if my count is right, Bloomfield had 4 turnovers. It's very tough to win the game with 4 turnovers.
Berlin 29, Fitch 23. So Berlin stays undefeated. Oh, look at Drybolts. What a smart job. He goes down at the 40 with 38 seconds remaining in the ballgame and the clock ticking. That will do it. The clock will run out. That is a smart play. What a great job here tonight. Killingly resilient, coming back. 28-22 as the clock ticks. Coach, it was an unbelievable pleasure. I think I learned more in one football game than I ever had before. I can't thank you enough for joining us. What are your thoughts on what you saw tonight?
Casey, thank you. I enjoyed it. The only one I ever heard talk more fluently and intelligently is your dad. So,
well, you should try listening again. He's 77 years old. I got him. I got him now, Coach. Killingly will move to 3-0.
Yeah, I think Bloomfield's gonna learn from this. A lot of mistakes for week 3, young team, and you can't turn the ball over. You can't throw the interceptions. You can't drop the ball in those situations. And I think the other thing is that really was a killer was that deep fade route. You had a definite pass interference by the Killingly defender, and I just wish the officials could have got together. Kevin's a great white hat, a great head official. Just wish he could have everybody together and got that call right, because you hate to see a team lose like that.
28-22 your final. For the coach, Jack Cochran, Peter Wappy, and the crew, I am Casey O'Neill. Stay tuned as always on social media for the Foxwoods player of the game. You've been watching Game Day live on theday.com.